All right. Oh gosh, no, not the voice crack. Starting out strong. How are we? How are we? We kind of talked already, but just for the sake of it, how are we again? I'm so excited, dude. I've been thinking about this game since I stopped playing it. Hi, Butter! Glad you could make it. I'm really excited. The music is not on currently. I had it so it wasn't like in my ear the whole time while I was like getting my shit together because I'm scared. But I'll turn it up now. So we have a nice little background track. Let me know if you guys can hear it with my voice. I want to make sure that the audio levels are okay. I turned down the sound volume because some of the roars and stuff are really loud in my ear. It scared me even more. Up more, okay, can do. What about there? Oh, it kind of lulled down. Yeah, there were a lot of roars. There were a lot of scary, splashing, squelching, like, bad sounds. Which is great to hear in your ear, let me tell you. It's faint, okay. See, it sounds loud to me, but I think I just need to turn it down on my end and then just have it up pretty good here. Because I said this last time, but there's no voice acting, so it's like fine if the music's kind of loud. Okay, that's good. As long as it's not overpowering me, I think we're solid. I was cut off about when she and her baby vanishes. Oh gosh. Do you want to recap? Because I can give you like a short recap. If not, it's okay. I'm sure you'll pick up the pieces as we go. It was a journey. Okay. So last time on our Wonderland, okay, so when Buxley takes her baby, this is also a great quiz for me to figure out, like, how much I pay attention, basically. Okay, so Iggy, basically talks to Hunar on the phone and realizes, and then, goes to bed, blah, blah, blah. Next day, text the other, like, Orlam, Gidget, or Genzo. I ended up going Orlam first because I thought it would be funny. He didn't pick up. And I'm assuming he didn't pick up because he's in Wonderland. And I'm assuming that I didn't call Gidget, so I don't know. I called Genzo second. But I'm assuming if you call Gidget as well, they probably are also, like, in Wonderland, so they can't talk. But Genzo picks up, and you guys talk about it for a bit, and then you, later that night, end up, like, wandering out into the street to go for a walk, get some fresh air, and end up in the, like, spooky woods, because you're being called to Wonderland. And I think Iggy also dreamed about it as well. Yeah, so we're already in Wonderland, and the second we get there, shit already hits the fan because there's these rabbit soldiers, and there's one particular rabbit soldier that's really scary, and he's like foaming at the mouth, like literally, actually, and he has a spear, and he like beats this other one to death, actually. And then we get a choice to either follow the rabbit group or run away. I chose to follow them because I make bad choices. Well, I was like, you know, keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer, you know? Wrong, don't do that. My bad. So we ended up following, we got stabbed, game over, but we were able to redo, go to the right this time instead of the left. Then we end up having the choice of going over this giant tongue on the ground that has a giant eyeball attached to it. And I know this sounds insane and out of nowhere, but that's actually how it happens in the game. all of a sudden, yeah, and I hate saliva, so I was like losing my mind. And then there's this little tomato friend, and he has like tendrils, and he seems really sweet, but then there's this bridge that appears out of nowhere, and you have the choice to either go with the little tomato guy or go on the tongue. And I was like, well, tomato guy seems pretty chill, why not? And we're also running from the rabbit at this point. So we go with him, but the tomato friend is actually not a friend, because the tomato friend has multiple friends, and he gangs up on us, and he tears all of them out and eats us. So, not a great choice, bad choice number 2, so I end up going back, going on the tongue, disgusting, licks us all over, and likes what it tastes, so it tries to eat us. But Genzo's able to save us for the second time this time, and he like stabs the tongue, and it like flies us elsewhere, and then we end up near this boat, where we meet a very nice flower, who seems like a friend right now, and I would like to believe is a friend, because we know. And they did like they had bars, they were spitting, and we go on this boat, and you're supposed to have made a wish, and Iggy didn't make a wish, so basically you're not supposed to be within the vicinity of this very particular figure because of that, and I don't know all the details to that. I think there's more to find out. But we go on this boat, and everything's going good until Iggy gets this idea that he's like, I need to close my eyes, I can't look at this thing or whatever, so he does, and you have the choice to keep your eyes closed or to keep them open. I chose to keep them closed, and I kept them closed like the 4 times that it asked me, and we got the good end. Apparently, if you open your eyes, something bad really happens. I don't know what happens because I didn't see it, but you could hear screaming and stuff, but I think it was it tricking us. Like, it was making Genzo scream even though nothing was actually bad happening to him, because after everything is said and done, we're able to open our eyes and he's fine. So that was weird and creepy. But we ended the stream on a good note. We didn't die 3 times in a row. But we're probably gonna die some more this time, so that's gonna be some fun, I guess. Carrot did say that I would be able to finish Act 1 of our Wonderland. There are 5 acts in total. Well, there are 4 currently, and they're making Act 5. So we'll be able to finish Act 1, and then I'll be streaming tomorrow night, and then I'm assuming we'll start Act 2 tomorrow. So that's really fun and intimidating in a sense, because it's like, oh my gosh, we're getting through it. But I've been thinking about this game so much. Like, I cannot stress that enough. It's been like on my brain 24/7. I've been theorizing, I've been listening to the VOD again, just trying to like piece it together. So I would say that I'm gonna start every stream of our Wonderland with some like ideas and theories that I have. I don't know if this is fun for anybody, but it's good for me to document where my head is with this game so far, because I feel like there are all these little mysteries and I want to at least get some of them right. So I wrote some down in my notes and I'm gonna read what I think they are. And I think this will be fun for Carrot to just feel like, yeah, you're wrong. But I thought it'd be fun. Okay. Thank you for saying so. I promise this segment won't take too long. I didn't write too much down. And also you get to like hear exactly how I wrote them in my notes. Okay, so let's go. only the innocent can pass in the Wonderland chant. Okay, what I meant by this was when they are kids, when they're 10. I should probably go to the menu screen just for something more interesting to look at. When they're kids, about to go to Wonderland for the first time, they do this chant, and I didn't hear it properly. Like, I listened to it, but I didn't hear it. And it was basically like, only the innocent can pass. And I think that's why there are issues currently, because as an adult, you're not an innocent. Whereas when you were a child, you were. So that's why they didn't experience any problems before, and they are now. So I think that one I might be on the money with. Even though it's not that crazy. I already kind of theorized that already, but I didn't hear the chant before, so... next is Iggy is the ringleader of the group. He was the person who, like, keeps them all together, basically. And it's shown that when he revisits them and all that, that he's been very distant, and he only sees them once a year, and he is completely out of the loop because of his own personal stuff. And I think that's part of the reason the group fell apart. Was because he wasn't that central figure to keep them there. He was the glue, which is funny because his hair is white, but he was the glue that kept them together. So once he was kind of like out of the picture, they all sort of, took a downfall. Maybe Genzo the least, but I think he's just hiding it well. I think he's really going through some shit. So there's that. Buck Springs' baby, what the fuck was her wish? Oh, yeah, okay. So, Buck Springs the baby, I want to know what Buck's wished for. Obviously, I want to see Buck's. I want to know why I have so many questions there. Why did you bring the baby? Why did you leave? Like, I know, like, I can assume what it probably is, but I want to know exactly, and I want Iggy to, like, chew her out when he sees her, because that's crazy. That's still setting me on a... Oh, okay, our Wonderland theories. Bucks brings her baby into Wonderland to reverse its effects because the baby is innocent. But I don't think that's how that works. Obviously that didn't work. And also they didn't know that Wonderland was bad before they were going in. They probably just still assumed that it was a good place. So that doesn't make any sense anymore. But it was something that I wrote down and I was like, oh, maybe that's it. What is this? Okay, horse's ass, the flower says, like how the flower said it to Genzo. What did I mean by that? Okay, I think it was like Genzo insulted Orlam by using the term horse's ass or something, like calling him a horse's ass, and then the flower also said it. So my theory is, even though I've played one of the side games, so I think I'm on the money with this one, is that Orlam is the king of Wonderland somehow, and he's in control of the rabbits there, and the flower is also part of the things that he controls, and they were already saying that the king wanted to bring Iggy and Genzo specifically back. And hi, thanks for the follow. I can't see the name. I can't see the name. Oh no. Oh, Len. Hi, Len. Sorry, I had to move it. I was like, where are you? Okay, thank you. We're going over theories for me about our Wonderland before we start, but we're going to start really soon. So I'm under the impression that the flower is working with Orlam and is basically like his mouthpiece, so he's able to insult Genzo, and that's why he didn't insult Iggy, because he has good relations with Iggy. I'm scared of this game. Yeah, I am too, but I'm having such a blast with it too. It's like fascination. Like, it's too close to the sun, like you're scared, but you want to see what keeps happening. Like it's a car crash you can't like look away from, basically. That's exactly how I feel about this game. My other theory was oh no, this wasn't theory, this was just something that I heard, and I didn't give it the proper attention that I should have when I played it originally. And this is why you listen to your VODs back, for this reason. Sound for sore ears from Genzo was brilliant and overlooked because it was because I stupidly didn't pick up on how Genzo was blind. I want to apologize for that. I feel like it was made very evident and was done in a very like smart way, and I did not pick up on the fact that Genzo was blind until they were in Wonderland. Like, I had assumptions, but I didn't want to like run with it, basically. And I want to compliment how Carrot handles her disabled characters, because Genzo never feels like the stereotypical like blind character, and I think it's such a breath of fresh air, and it's truly wonderful. And I think because his demeanor wasn't like what I'm used to seeing was part of the reason why I didn't like even pick up on it to begin with. But I think it's a wonderful thing. Love that for him. When Iggy is called to Wonderland, is it Sadie that's calling him? So Sadie is Buxley's daughter, Buxley and Hunar's daughter, the little baby, the 3-month-old that she took with her. And I think that voice that is calling Iggy in his dreams it's a child's voice. Now, granted, they're a baby and they can't literally talk, so I don't know who else it would be, unless maybe it's younger him calling him. I just thought about that. That could be it. Let's put a pin in that. One of the lines, this is the last one, by the way, when they're in the circle, about to go to Wonderland for the first time, there's a line that says, Genzo's dying words will probably be a dig at Orlom. Now, I have a feeling that we're gonna die again at some point, and I'm pretty sure Genzo will die with us, or separately, or whatever, and I think that Genzo, even when he's dying, is gonna say, like, another snarky remark to Orlom, and that is so smart. That is, like, one of the first lines, like, very early in the game, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be called back to. So those were all my thoughts and theories and little things that I missed. I want to do that segment every time that I open these streams, because there are a lot of little details that Carrot puts in here. I can tell that they really, really put their heart and soul into this, so I want to give it all the attention it deserves. And with that being said, it's time to stop. Carrot is brilliant, genuinely so impressed. But I don't want to waste any more time, so let's get into it. Let's actually get back into Wonderland. I'm terrified, but, you know, we're here. Okay, so it's after the kiddie cruise, this one. Alright, so this is after we closed our eyes and, you know, didn't open them while we were on this boat, and we survived. Yay, we survived! But for how much longer is the real question. Genzo removes his cap and runs his hand through his hair, again and again. Droplets of sweat bounce off and onto the wooden planks. Path seems to lead this way. I point past the end of the dock and towards where a valley of dirt winds itself off and away from the river, bordered on either side by more trees. Yeah, but Genzo's voice lacks its usual vivacity. Oh gosh. We started a trek away from the river without another word, just the two of us, walking down a dreamlike path in a world of fantasy with no idea where to go. Or what to expect next. Me neither. I'm with ya. You know, like, Iggy's not a self-insert, but we're feeling the exact same thing. I'm not sure how long we walk. 20 minutes, 30, an hour? Time feels strange. Almost though it's not passing at all. It probably isn't. Probably when this is all said and done, you're gonna walk back and, you know, the sun won't even be up yet. Yet when I think back to the cottage, of discovering that hole in the tree, it already feels like a lifetime ago. And strangely disconnected? I try to think about my apartment, about work, about the party. They all feel fake. Did any of that really happen? I don't know. I didn't think we were gonna think this deep right off the bat, but okay. Of course it did. That's my life. That's me. Or is Wonderland the true world and that other world is fake? Okay, now that's a bit too big for me. I look down at my hand as though it might reveal an answer to some unspoken question, and my mind drifts back to the voice in the tree. See, this kind of thinking is going to lead you to a panic attack, Iggy. What do you wish for more than anything else in the whole world? To get out of here? I don't know. I still don't know. I glance over at Genzo, who has his hands shoved in his pockets and his gaze pointed at his toes. The cut on his cheek has stopped bleeding and is instead forming a line, dark scab around the flesh. Ugh. Why had we stopped seeing so much of each other? Why had I stopped seeing much of any of them? That's actually a great question. I don't know why, Iggy. Tell me. I can't remember the last time I hung out with any of them one-on-one, just spending time together talking. I'd been busy. Oh. Had I, though? I winced, not any busier than normal, and certainly not so busy that I couldn't have taken some occasional time out of my schedule. I'd never reached out to anyone of my own accord, and even when they'd reach out to me, I'd usually made up some excuse. Some friend. Even now... I like that Iggy is also going through shit. Like, it's clear that every character is going through something really, like, deep under the skin, basically, and they're all hiding it the best that they can. And I like that Iggy's among them. And him being a bad friend is a very, like, bold choice for your main character, because I feel like a lot of people will just not resonate with that at all, because we all want to think of ourselves as good friends. But it makes sense. Like, maintaining like a big friend group like that, I would imagine would be really hard, especially over 20 years. So, you know, who am I to say? I don't know if I've been friends with anybody for 20 years. So, it's okay, Iggy. Look, better late than never, I say. Even now, I only know the basics of what they do, or how they live their lives, or their goals, ambitions, hopes, dreams, secrets. I can't help but wonder if things wouldn't have turned out differently had I actually made an effort. Hi, Snacks! How are you? We're in the thick of it. We're back in the woods. If somehow we would have avoided this. And I don't believe that Iggy being that involved would have really changed anything, because I feel like even if he was aware of what other problems were, that doesn't mean that they're going to change it or do anything different, you know? But it's something to think about. We're in for it. I sigh and rub at my eyes. Not worth it. Agonizing over it now. Definitely not. A panic attack and Wonderland? No, just one, please. Not when there's much worse things to be agonizing over. Correct. All of a sudden, my footsteps change in timber. Oh, I glance down to see a dirt path has given way to cobblestones. That's interesting. I stop for a moment, studying the new pavement. Hope that means we're finally getting somewhere. Genzo takes this opportunity to survey the landscape. Wherever that somewhere is. Through the foliage veiling the upcoming bend, I spy a spattering of bright colors, too bright even for the otherworldly trees. There's something there. I expend the energy for a short jog, taking me around the trees and in front of what I can only describe as a gigantic billboard. I stop, take it in, and feel my eyes grow about 5 sizes larger. That's too many. Jesus. Genzo trots up next to me, equally as stupefied. It's Gidget, only larger than life, wearing very little clothing. Oh, let me see! Oh, no, let's be serious. She's lying on her side, head propped up on her hand, and holding a martini glass in her other. She's winking at the camera. Go her. At us. Next to her at the words, "Come visit Wonderland's hottest goddess," in bright purple print. My jaw goes slack. That's a sight of Gidget I've never seen before. Genzo brow reaches for the sky. He looks more bemused than anything. You can say that again. A big side. Yeah. I mean a really big. Okay, I get it. Genzo laughs. I, however, feel mildly ill. Gidget's beautiful. She always has been, and I love being around her. She's fun, smart, ambitious, not afraid to take risks. And to be honest, if she were to ask me, I wouldn't mind being more— Oh! Okay! Say it, Iggy! Say it with your chest! Go get it! I could see myself supporting her, rooting for her. Could see the two of us maybe curled up on the couch, could see us frantically doing our shopping together. But thinking about her like this makes my stomach twist. I don't know why. And going further than that, trying to somehow imagine us in the same bed, us touching each other, I shake my head. To say it makes me feel uncomfortable would be an understatement. I mean, I have a feeling that Gidget's playing it up. Like, I don't think it's true to her either. So, I mean, I would love that for her, but I feel like she's definitely doing a lot. My Iggy and Gidget ship. I mean, I ship everybody with everybody at this one. I'm down. And apparently they're all canon anyway, so there's no sense in picking favorites. I could just love them all. It's bordered by other smaller placards that stick up and out of the ground like signposts. All of them sport Gidget, some in gorgeous dresses, some in bright colored ensembles, some in ridiculous getups that look like they've come straight out of a fantasy or a horror movie. Damn, girl's clearly been busy, Genzo whistles beneath his breath. I guess this means Gidget's here too. Yeah, and time has definitely stopped because it's like, how long have they been in here? Like, on a real note, like, is an hour in here, like, 10 hours on the outside world? Who knows? Like, I don't even want to think that deep, but clearly they've been here long enough to, like, establish themselves. You don't say. And so we make our way down to Gidget Line Path. Her smile follows us, sometimes sweet, sometimes sultry, and sometimes downright sinful. My rap name. I can't help but feel like every single one of them is aimed straight at me. Probably is. Gidget's giving big yandere energy, like, not to just color them that, but they definitely have a thing for Iggy, and want Iggy to notice them, and Iggy's just oblivious. Igblivious, if you will. Stupid. 20 placards later, sees us at the entrance to a small village. You know what? This is a nice change of pace. Even though we could definitely easily be just thrown off a balcony somewhere here. I survey the quaint white and dark wood cottages, the puffing chimneys, the curving cobblestone roads, and vine-dappled walls. I remember this, though not quite as clearly as the kiddie cruise, more like out-of-focus snapshots. And ice cream. Somehow I definitely remember eating ice cream here before. I would too. I'm suddenly feeling super hungry because, yeah, all that running for your life and trauma really, you know, Okay, yeah, whatever. Eat. Go crazy. Pushing thoughts of sweets out of my head, I start down the main road. For once, we're not the only ones here. People are milling about, walking from building to building. Genzo just like me for real. You know, I would say the same, but when my anxiety is really high, I never eat. Like, I would just be chewing on a leaf for sustenance. All that running for life trauma. He was so real for that. He is. If nothing else, Genzo is authentic as hell. We're not the only ones here. People are milling about, walking... Oh, so there are people here. Okay. Alright. Whatever. Okay, I guess the woods are just hell here. Cool. A satchel of mail hanging off his shoulder. None of them much as glance up as we look around. Okay, they're fake. I round the next corner and stop. A crowd of people is gathered outside one or more ornate-looking homes. There's a good 15 to 20 of them, and though they whisper amongst themselves occasionally, their attention seems fixed on the door. Who's the celebrity? Genzo sidles up next to me. Dunno. I step out of the way of the ring at a bicycle bell, and the boy from earlier goes gliding past. My stomach gurgles. Somehow, I'm pretty sure I know who it is. The boy? Oh, the celebrity. I'm a dumbass. Good morning, darlings! I turn at the voice to see the door open. Gidget has her hand raised above her head. She's so cute, dude. Her head to greet the crowd. The previously quiet gathering erupts in cheers and applause. The sinking feeling in my gut forms itself into a 2-ton boulder. Thank you so much for seeing me off today. Another shoot, can you believe it? The scouts here just can't keep their eyes off me. She practically dances down the steps, the crowd parting to allow her room. Immediately, there's hands reaching out, thrusting papers and books for her to sign, trying to catch a passing touch of her arm or shoulder. We love you, Gidget! Us in the chat right now. Mary meets Gidget! Oh, no, they're just speaking facts. Gidget's mouth curls into an over-exaggerated frown as she waltzes through. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm in quite a rush today. She pauses, then smiles with a wink. But I suppose 1 or 2 autographs wouldn't hurt. The crowd goes wild, flinging their pens and photos and exposed skin at her with even more vengeance. Wait, flinging their pens and photos and exposed skin? Are they just flashing her? Okay. Relax. Me first, Gidget. I'm your #1 fan, Gidget. She turns towards the person standing nearest to her, a teenage girl with a bouncy ponytail, and decked out in pins, stickers, and accessories, all featuring Gidget's name or face. The girl wrings her hands in excitement as Gidget signs her name in her autograph book. Well, clearly this was her wish. I don't think that's like, oh, wow, Joy, you're so perceptive. Like, it's just, that's what that was. Hey, Gidget. Oh god, she doesn't like Genzo. I meant to say that. I didn't realize, like, until I was going through the VOD. Like, every time he talks, she's like, ew. And I could be reading into that, but I'm pretty sure that, like, every time she was just annoyed by him, like, outwardly. Like, in a different way than Orlam was. Which I think is interesting that her and Orlam come here, because I think they're just so put out by Genzo somehow. So, that's gonna go good for him, I'm sure. Only this time, the call comes from right next to me, and I turn to see Genzo with his hands cupped around his mouth. Gidget turns, stops, then beams. Guys! Alright. She barely has time to return the girl's autograph book before she's dashing towards us. You're here! I can't believe it! Could say the same thing about you, Genzo laughs. We had no idea who we'd find down here. Except, you know, the baby and Buxley, but whatever. Up close, Gidget looks different. Except I can't put my finger on how exactly. Only that she seems more perfect, like I can't spot a single imperfection on her. Her skin is gleaming, her blue eyes actually seem to be sparkling, and even her hair is flawless, not a single lock out of place. This isn't the right choice. We're not gonna play into this Wonderland bullshit, okay? So we are gonna be straight up, but it is gonna come at a cost. I wanna flirt, I do, but Gidget's going through some shit, and I know that if I play into it as Iggy, she's gonna not like it. Or she's gonna like it, but she's gonna be liking it for the wrong reasons, and then we're gonna end up on a pike somewhere. She does look great. Quite the coincidence, huh? Just divert. I'm the instigator. You know what? I would be too if I wasn't scared of, like... You know what? Can we go back? You know what? We'll just say it. We'll just say it. We're not gonna disappoint chat. You look great! I love you! You look, great! I finally managed. That sounded fake. Iggy, say it with your chest, man! Gidget beams, then grows instantly shy. I mean, have to, you know, keep up appearances. Who knew they'd love me down here? They sure seem to. We saw your handiwork on the walk up. Genzo loops his fingers behind his neck. This only seems to embarrass her further. Oh gosh, right. I had kind of forgotten about all those. They went a little overboard, a little over billboard, you could say. But I need a soundboard. I just need a soundboard. That's just what that means. Not gonna lie, my first thought was tell her she looks great, simply because OMG, that girl is lovely. I mean, she is. I can't. You're right, and you're spitting facts. I'm scared. Like, she looks great, and I'm gay, but I'm also scared. You're, doing modeling gigs then? I asked somewhat tentatively. Obviously. Yeah, crazy, huh? She starts, then stops, gaze shooting to her watch. Oh crap, that reminds me that I'm already late for my next one. Come down with me? It's just over at the pier in town. Afterward, we can grab some drinks at the inn. Catch up? I glance at Genzo, who glances at me. I shrug. Sure, why not? Better than being eaten alive. Because what else can I say? I'm honestly still confused by this whole situation. Amazing. Come on. This way. Then starts down the road, not forgetting to throw a parting wave at the crowd still camped outside the door as she passes. Catch you all later. Oh god, her fans are gonna eat us alive. Oh no. I'm just scared of everything. The ice cream's gonna eat us. The buildings are gonna eat us. This is what anxiety does to a motherfucker. Genzo scratches his forehead. Seems to be doing well for herself, huh? You could say that. We walk after her, and I can't help but notice the aura of the crowd grow dark as we pass. Okay. Alright, I might have, you know, speculated a bit too hard about the ice cream in the buildings, but I was on the money about that. We're full course meal for them. We are! And for everything in this damn place. Just keep walking, Genzo hisses. Hi, Chatter! We're talking about being scared of everything. But we saw Gidget, she looks great. And I'm sure that's not gonna go wrong in any way. I don't need to be told twice. My pace quickened by a half step. Gidget leads us down the curved road and past a few more buildings, then look just familiar enough to jog my memory. Past the next bend, the buildings open to reveal a long cobblestone, I don't know what that was, sorry, cobblestone pier lined with the small fishing boats. A team of photographers is already setting up their gear near the water. Beautiful, isn't it? Gidget turns back towards us. The perfect photo shoot. I'm actually surprised I haven't done one here yet. It's certainly photogenic. Genzo squints as he takes in the scenery. I don't disagree, but my head is still filled with visions of giant eyeball creatures and whatever it was that happened back on the kiddie cruise, making it a bit hard for me to appreciate the view. Fair. And based. Feel free to look around during the shoot. I don't think it'll be that long. Gidget bites down on her lip with an eager smile, then dashes off towards the crew. Iggy always spitting facts. She's really enjoying this. They do seem to like her. I throw a glance back towards the way we came, half expecting to see that woman in the crowd from earlier following us. What kind of shoot is this? I didn't think anything other than just a normal one, but now I'm like, okay, they're gonna pull out guns and shoot us. Unfortunately, the path is clear. Pretty obvious what we wished for, huh? I don't respond, instead biting... Genzo said what I said, biting down on my lip, watching the crew finish setting up. One of them, the makeup lady, I can only guess is already checking Gidget over, touching up her face and getting her in position. The shoot starts and Gidget is on fire. I've never seen her look so alive, so happy, having the absolute time of her life. Okay, as a kid, I was obsessed, and I mean obsessed, with fucking America's Next Top Model. And Tyra Banks and I had the same birthday, and now that I look back on it, I used to idolize her and stuff. Definitely don't now. But I get that feeling of wanting to be a model and stuff, so me and Gidget are... I'm with her on this, like, to a very strong degree. But girl, we gotta get you out of here. This place ain't right. They start with a few shots with her back to the boats, then walking along the pier, sitting atop the railing and gazing out across the lake. But despite her constant smile, I can't stop the feeling of unease clawing at my belly. Why is she here? Why is she doing this? She's not supposed to be here. We're not supposed to be here. How can she act like this is normal? Why are you doing this, Gidget? I was just watching a What Happened to America's Next Top Model YouTube video yesterday. Hearing all the drama condensed was wild. Yeah, seeing the clips on Twitter of like the crazy ass shit that happens on that show, can't support it, but as a kid, went hard. Currently, the 90s was crazy for reality TV, or the early 2000s was crazy for reality TV. They were just saying all kinds of shit that you just cannot say anymore. Like, stop. Like, stop, please. Why are you doing this, Gidget? Flashback? Okay. Gidget looks at me in confusion. Her brows furrow as her teeth gnaw at the inside of her cheek. What do you mean? I thought you'd be happy for me. Stern Iggy? Okay. It'd been fall of senior year, the annual school hackathon. Hackathon? The one all the college reps attend to scout on new talent. Wow. It was supposed to be me that won it. Me that got all the scholarship offers. Me that had been working towards this every year of high school. Oh, you ruined everything. What are you talking about? Gidget's eyes quiver. She looks like she's about to cry. You're not even good at coding. You only start because I did. That's not true. I like coding too. But you just had to go and take away everything that's important to me. The reps like your project too. Coding is for boys. Yeah, okay. Wait, this was senior year of college? Iggy. This stops her. Her lips tremble. Everybody already thinks you're a boy. It's embarrassing. Oh god, stop! Please! Let me read chat real fast. Give Iggy a second to cool down. Lol, some drama in it. All I watched was Asia's Next Top Model Season 5. There's a wild amount of drama. A lot of really racist stuff that happened on the show. Yeah, it really did. Which is crazy considering Tyra is a woman of color, but I guess that didn't stop her. That did not stop her at all. She said, you know what? She wanted to break that stereotype. I was about to say good for her. Not good for her. Everybody thinks you're a boy. It's embarrassing. Ugh, Iggy, please. You should do something for girls. You'd be prettier then. Now the tears are oh, did she get into modeling because of fucking Iggy? Now the tears are falling in big salty rivers. No! I love when blondes cry, but this wasn't what I want. This wasn't how I wanted it. Salty rivers that stream down her cheeks. She runs away without another word. Damn. Horrible. I'd been so horrible. Yeah. I mean, we're all horrible at one point. It's just hard to, it's hard to look at, yeah. Even after all these years, I still cringe just thinking about it. I hadn't meant a single word of it. It'd been the anger talking. But I never apologized. Never taken it back. Yeah, that was a misstep. And Gidget had changed after that. Grown her hair out. Got interested in fashion and dresses. Always asking me how she looked. She stopped coding altogether. Ooh. I glanced back at the present-day Gidget, currently resting her chin in her palm and shooting a smoky glare at the camera as her hair dances in the lake breeze. I'm sorry, Gidget. No sooner had the thought entered my head than Gidget glances up, beams, and begins waving me over. I pause, unsure, point to myself, as though there could be anyone else she's pointing to. When she nods, I shuffle over awkwardly. She jumps down off the railing at my approach. Join me for a shot? What? My voice cracks. Yeah, come on, just for fun. Her arms sneak its way around mine, and I feel her tugging towards the camera. Besides, who wouldn't want to shoot this handsome stud, huh? I throw a look of helplessness back at Kenzo, who just laughs. Make him swoon, you animal. Seems like I don't have much of a choice. They position us on the other side of the little blue sloop, its sail flapping gently in the breeze. I don't even have a chance to ask what I'm supposed to do before the cameras are snapping like crazy. How many pictures are they taking? 100? A minute? The first 500 are just gonna be me looking like a deer in the headlights. Fortunately, Gidget knows what to do. Oh. She grabs my arm, pulls me close, taps my opposite shoulder to get me spinning around, and when I realize it's her, I smile, laugh, feel some of the tension leave my shoulders. They are very cute. This is the smoothest, most friendly sequence that happens in Wonderland, to be honest. Yeah, you know, it's funny, because, like, I was, like, preparing, like, I was going for war. When I booted up the stream, I was like, alright, we're going back in. Some crazy shit happened last time, and now we're just modeling, you know, some flashbacks, some just goofs and gaffs. For now. For now. That's how they lure you in. That's how they get you. And by they, I mean Carrot. She gives me a playful shove, gets me moving, points towards an especially oblong cloud in the sky to get me looking skyward. And all the while, the cameras shoot, shoot, shoot. This is how it works then, is it? Hope that one or two of these thousands of shots actually looks decent. Gidget laces her arms around mine, pulling me back in and plants a kiss on my cheek. I feel my face heat up. Her body is so close I can feel her breath on my face, on my neck. And when she brings her arms around my shoulders in a tight side squeeze, I can feel her chest press against my arm. My stomach flops. Bitter nausea works its way up into the base of my throat. My eyes go to Genzo. He's standing a short ways behind the photographers, hands shoved deep in his pockets and just staring at us. For once, he's not cracking his usual smile. I step away. chin curled inward and hand to my head. Maybe that's enough time in the spotlight for me. I cough, wipe at my nose. Gidget just laughs. You never were one for the attention. She throws me a wink. Thanks for obliging me, though. I'm almost done here. Then we can head back. I nod somewhat apologetically, chin about to disappear in my clavicle, and scoot out of the view of the cameras. Dude, I would die. I'm so camera shy, which is funny to say that when you're, like, literally hosting a stream. But, like, I could be on stage live, I can talk to people, I can do public speaking, I could even perform and, like, sing live, but I cannot for the life of me be behind a camera. Like, it's the worst. It's the worst. I hate it. Like, especially when it comes to, like, acting on camera, that one is, like, the death of me, truly. Once clear, my stomach slowly normalizes, and I take off my glasses to give my face a few good rubs. So I take it you won't be coming back to shoot the swimsuit edition, eh? Yeah, no, like, can you imagine? I don't want to imagine. That would make Iggy so uncomfortable. An all too familiar elbow nudge to the ribs pulls me back into the moment. Very funny. I take the opportunity to clean my glasses. 2 quick breaths across the lenses, then a solid rub with the hem of my shirt. I place them back on my nose. Blink. By the time I look over, Genzo's gone back to watching Gidget, who's now walking along the cobbles, looking back over her shoulder at the cameras. I check out the opposite direction, back towards the winding roads and the surrounding cottages. Every now and then, something will jump out of the triggers, a flash of memory. The flowers on the sill of the bakery, the outdoor seating area of the cafe with its red and white striped tablecloths. Sorry, I had to burp. Even the smell, the faint, sickly sweet aroma of honey and sugar that dances up and down on my tongue. Something catches my eye. The girl from earlier, the one Gidget gave her autograph to. Oh god, she's gonna kill us. She's got a knife. She's walking by, clutching her little book. Yeah, that's what she wants you to think. And spring her in her step and a bounce in her ponytail. The people here seem to like Gidget. I catch myself, roll my eyes. Of course they do. It's pretty obvious what Gidget wished for. It's not like any of this is real. Oh! Iggy, you're falling back into it again. The bitterness, alright? It's real as it can be. It's as real as that eyeball was that tried to eat you. Like, this is real, guy. No matter how much Gidget seems to enjoy it, I suck my bottom lip up between my teeth. Just when I'm about to turn back to the chute, a flash of movement stops me in my tracks. There's another girl, approaching the ponytail, hunched over and moving quickly, very quickly. Closer. Closer. Why is he so bitter? Iggy, I like when protagonists have, like, some shit they gotta go through, so I am enjoying it, but yeah, Iggy needs to relax a little, man. Like, Gidget is obviously very upset with you because they left on bad terms as well, like, during that barbecue or whatever, and it's mainly just because he's oblivious to her feelings, and has apparently consistently always done that, so, yeah, I don't know. No, I love it, but also shaking his shoulder. Yeah, for sure. It's definitely a get it together guy, especially now. They're nearing a small alley way between 2 of the buildings. Ponytail walks in front of it, none the wiser, and the other girl pounces. What is going on? She throws herself at Ponytail, pushing her into the alley with a stifled squawk. Her hand comes up. There's a flash. A knife? Oh my gosh, there actually is a knife, but it wasn't from the little girl. Then down, thrust down. Ponytail's legs jump. Another thrust, up and down, until Ponytail's legs slump to the ground, motionless. My jaw goes slack. The victorious girl emerges. Autograph book. Sorry, I had to take a second to gasp. That was an actual, like, wide open, what? Autograph book clutched in red splotched hands. She killed her over an autograph book? Oh no. Then walks off, leaving Ponytail splayed and unmoving in the alley. I'm sorry, Ponytail! I thought you were the villain all along, but you were the victim. I raise my hand, blink, try to form words to describe what just happened, to alert the others. Chat, did you see that? But by this point, the camera crew is packing up and no one's paying attention to my incoherent mumbling. Genzo, I try. What's up, Iggs? Iggy, Genzo, we're done. Gidget comes, bouncing back, still full of energy. This is what you gotta do for the limited editions. They're just K-pop idols. Oh, K-pop stans, that's what I meant to say. Whatever. Joke ruined. Thanks so much for waiting. Let's head back. They love me at the end. They give us all free drinks. She grabs my wrist, tugging me along with the rest of the crew. All Genzo can do is shoot me a look of amusement as he takes up the rear. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, cats are swinging again. Drink up, boys. It's on the house. A busty woman in a flower print dress, ooh, and a white apron slams 2 extra large beers down on the table in front of Genzo and me. Told you so. Gidget sticks out her tongue in amusement across from us, already nursing her own cocktail. Don't mind if I do? Genzo promptly grabs his and downs about half the glass. This is having a drink while we know some crazy shit's about to go down. I'm considerably more reserved with my own. Clutching it in both hands, I bring it to my lips, tasting just enough for the foam to decorate the bottom of my nose. The inn is bustling with patrons. Men playing cards, groups of friends laughing and drinking, even a table not far behind us filled with what I can only assume are fans of Gidget. They sit watching us, scribbling down notes at our every action. It's a cozy place, music sprinkling in through an old photograph, warm candles beaming down from wooden chandeliers overhead. Stairs in the corner lead up to what I can only assume are overnight rooms you can book at the counter. Sure didn't have anything like this here when we were kids. Genzo laughs and wipes at his mouth. I glance around, taking in the ambience. I mean, I guess we did always know this place changed. It always just kind of knew what you needed, even beyond the wishes, I mean. Genzo crosses his finger over his heart and lowers his head. Thank you for knowing what I need. He promptly takes another swig. I turn my attention back to Gidget. She's just watching the two of us with a smile. So, how long have you been here then? Kinda seems like you've made yourself at home. Yeah, that's a great question. Gidget curls a lock of hair around her finger. To be honest, I don't even know. The days kinda melt together here a bit. It hasn't been that long. Plus, I'm having a blast, so I haven't really felt the need to come running back, you know? I force an awkward smile. Yeah, sure. You definitely have it made. The only reception Iggy and I got was a friendly game of Impale the Humans from our old friends, the rabbits. Yeah, is it not too soon to joke about that right now, Genzo? People died. Rabbits died. I died. Twice. Oh, and welcome back, tasting from the world's largest eyeball. Again, I don't know if I'm ready to joke about this quite yet. Gidget's eyes go wide. What are you talking about? You mean you weren't killed about 20 times on your way here? I take another hesitant sip from my beer. God, no. I was welcomed like a queen. Best day of my life in recent history. Well, besides every day since. Gotta admit, life is good down here. Okay. First of all, cheating. Bullshit. Cheating. Second of all, I'm just joking. But, okay, so because we're resisting Wonderland and we don't want to just accept it with open arms, it's trying to kill us. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I hear ya. It's fine. This is cool. I love this. Actually, I'm having a good time. I try to hide my grimace with a glance at Genzo. He just scratches his head in wonder. Guess it's a recent change then? I finally muse. Though, now I'm really starting to wonder just how long Gidget's been down here. I have no idea what the time difference is between the worlds and ours. Okay, he's just saying what I said at the beginning of the stream. If this world is even the right terminology for where we are. But it certainly seems to pass quicker here, given that we only saw Gidget 2 days ago back home. Potentially much quicker. You, seen anyone else? Like Bucks maybe? A baby, maybe? We thought, she might be down here. Bucks no, but the door was already open when Orlam and I found it. Oh, so you guys came together, so it was like a little date. Oh, okay. Not me actually getting mad. I know me and Genzo came here together. So I can't say shit. But like, did you guys just like call each other up and it was like, oh, or did you guys find each other like naturally in the woods? I'm on to y'all. I'm on to y'all. Did he okay. Oh, fuck, he's down here? Yes, Genzo, he is. And if you keep talking shit about him, he's gonna kill us. Okay, so can we relax, please? Genzo groans. I should have known something stunk. Why does he hate him so much? What did he do? Like, he's weird, sure. Sure, I'll give you that. But that's not a crime. You act like he burnt your crops. Did he mess with your mom? Like, I'm confused. Yeah, the two of us kind of met, like, in the woods. Okay, so it was the exact way that we did with Genzo. I don't even remember. Gidget furrows her brows. Feels like so long ago now. I just remember really feeling like I need to check out the woods. And then when I got there, Orlam was there too, and we went to check out the door. Well, obviously you know what happened. Same thing happened with us. I watch as Genzo raises his hand to alert the bartender for another beer. You think Bucks is down here too, though? Gidget tilts her head, takes a drink. I do. Don't know, but imagine if she wasn't. How funny. How much of a troll would that have to be? We just like go back up and she's like, oh no guys, you misunderstood. I just went... My bad. My phone was off. It's just something so dumb. No, she's here. Yeah, Orlam is weird by why is he bullied so much? Yeah, I don't know. Genzo, relax. But if it's called all the rest of us, the table grows quiet. And then the same woman shows back up with Genzo's next beer, slamming it down with enough force to make my own glass rattle. Okay. Drink up, cutie. Oh, okay. Yes, ma'am. Genzo salutes just like me. Gidget laughs. See, Genzo has the right idea. You should enjoy yourselves. Stop looking so gloomy. I mean, look where we are. The place where dreams literally come true. Genzo is leaning down with his mouth to the rim of his glass, slurping up the excess foam. Yeah, just don't get used to it. Elsa's reality's gonna fuck you up in the ass even harder. Alright. Very, very elegant, this one. Gidget's smile sinks and her eyes turn sharp. She shoots a glare in Genzo's direction. Oh. Alright. Clearly, we're not gonna go with Gidget. Gidget is so far removed from the actual plot here. There's no way we're gonna- but if we say that she's not right in front of her, she's gonna kill us. So like, and Genzo over here is obviously on our side, so we don't need to double down and say he's on our side. Genzo's right. Genzo's right. We're not staying here. Genzo's right. We have to go back at some point, and the longer we stay here, the harder that'll be. Gidget turns to me with a pout. Oh god, not you too, Iggy. I thought for sure at least you'd understand. Genzo throws an arm around my shoulder. My man knows what's up! I mean, I get it, Gidget. This is nice. Too nice, really. And it's great to have that break from the doom and gloom back up there. I toss a glance skyward. But like, you don't actually want to stay here. You'd stay down here, do you? Forever, I mean? Just living a fantasy? Who said I was gonna stay down here forever, huh? Well, when do you plan on going back? I asked somewhat tentatively. Whenever I want, Gidget responds almost instantly. Why? Why does it matter to you? Oh, I raise my hands defensively. It doesn't. Yeah, good. Diffuse. I try to laugh it off. Just, you know, wondering about your plans is all. Gidget's smile returns. Okay. Oh no. As sickly sweet as the scent of honey tickling my nose. I'll go back eventually. I'm just enjoying my time here is all. What can I say? This place granted my biggest wish. She leans forward, one hand moving across the table to touch my wrist, and it seems it's about to grant another. Okay, that was good. I like you. You're smooth, but Iggy ain't gonna like that. I stare at her hand. Genzo stares too, even in the middle of gulping down his beer. I pull away, shoving my hands into my lap. My face feels hot, and my eyes fixated on the bottom of my glass. I'm, gonna have a smoke. Genzo breaks the silence before pushing up, away from the table. The alcohol, you know? You're gonna leave us here? Genzo, I thought you were a real one. He throws a glance at me, then at Gidget, then adjusts his cap and walks off to the exit. Alright. My belly is flopping something awful now. Just looking at the beer left in my glass makes me nauseous. I force myself to look up. Gidget's still smiling. Hey, I'm honestly just bushed. Genzo and I... Feels like we've been through hell and back just getting here. Could really use some, sleep. My knee is hopping like a grasshopper under the table. Oh, of course. There's rooms upstairs. I'm sure Mrs. Graham'd be fine with you using them. Wait, was that the same name of his, like, landlady? Or, not landlady, but, like, his neighbor? I'm just throwing that out. I remember a name similar to that. Thanks. Yeah, I try to grin as I push myself to my feet. It's just, you know how it goes. It certainly sounds like you had a rough time. Yeah? I pause, reach for my beer, pull my hand back, bring my hand up to say something, lower it. Anyways, let's talk more, tomorrow. Sure thing. I half stumble away from the table. Oh, okay. We were able to narrowly escape that. I can feel Gidget's eyes on my back the entire way up to the counter. My head feels blurry. So how many times did your character die today? Not yet. We're starting strong. Hello, popping by for a few minutes. I'm glad that you could hang with us for a few minutes. No, it's been pretty chill, but we're definitely building to something not so chill, for sure. So we found Gidget. She's having a great time. Apparently her wish came true, which I'm assuming is just being famous and beloved. And Iggy is here, and she clearly really likes Iggy, but Iggy's not really feeling it. And she is... She's gonna snap. I can feel it. Thankfully, a quick chat with the aforementioned Mrs. Graham is all it takes to secure myself a room at the top of the steps. So she grabs the key and leads me upstairs and away from the noisy bar, opening up the door to reveal a cozy room outfitted with a bed, wardrobe, and desk. You have a nice night now, she bids before leaving me with the key and shutting the door. Quiet. The real horrors of maintaining adult friendships. Legit, like, it is a funny thing to say, but I genuinely think the biggest horror of the story, like, obviously dying isn't fun and all this scary shit isn't fun, but, like, it's actually just your friends becoming the worst versions of themselves and there's nothing you could do about it. And, like, you'll also becoming the worst version of yourself because life likes to fuck you over. It's wonderfully quiet. I didn't realize just how loud it was downstairs until now. And the beautiful silence does wonder for my chest. I can practically feel it unclench itself. Oh, I know that. Muscle by muscle as I let out the longest breath of my life. I meander towards the bed. It's decorated with a thick red quilt and crowned at the top by 2 fluffy-looking pillows. I sit down and feel the mattress curve delightfully beneath me and then take the opportunity to look out the window at the foot of the bed. It's dark now, with only the streetlights to illuminate the cobblestones below. A few people are milling about. I search for Genzo, then realize I'm the opposite side of the building, so there's no point. I sit back and examine the room instead. The walls have been built with thick, rounded logs. It reminds me of the old cabin I stayed at during camp one summer. Rustic. My body is still relishing in the quiet, and I kick off my shoes, swing my legs up, and onto the bed. God, it feels so good to get off my feet. I let my eyes wander towards the ceiling, and then the brown swath of nothingness I wish my brain would get lost in. There's a knock at the door. Who is it? I grimace, but somehow it's not like I don't know who it was coming. I swing back around reluctantly and slide my feet back into my shoes. Coming. I shuffle towards the door, fumble with the doorknob, pull it open. The music cutting in when she cut in? Alright. Gidget's shy smile greets me on the other side. Hey, I say. Hey, she says back. Sorry, I mean, is it okay? I just wanted to talk. Oh, sure. I move to the side so she can come in. She walks to the middle of the room and looks around. These rooms are nice, yeah? I stayed in one my first couple of nights here, before everyone prepared that place for me in town. Yeah, it's nice. I stand in the doorway, unsure what to do, then finally slide my way towards the bed. I perch myself on the edge, expecting her to take the chair in front of the desk. She sits next to me on the bed instead. I don't move. My face feels like it's frozen in place. Pretty crazy, right? All of this? Yeah. To think that this place we went to as kids still exists. Heck, that it always existed. I think a part of me tried to write it off, chalk it up to kids being kids, make-believe and all that. Yeah, I know what you mean. I lean forward and perch my elbows on my thighs, hands clasped. But it's real, all of it, and it's given us another chance. I haven't been looking at her, but at this point I turn. Her gaze is pointed up towards the ceiling, as though trying to peer past it and straight into the stars. Has it, though? Another chance. We're not gonna be an asshole. We've done enough of that to Gidget, apparently. So let me get a drink. Clear my throat. Every time a choice pops up, I'm gonna take a drink, because I think that's good. Another chance? Another chance? What do you mean? It's kiss her. Yeah, I think if it was us in this situation, we'd be like, all right, it's time to get down. But Iggy ain't like that. Iggy ain't gonna, he ain't with it. What do you mean? I don't know how that got blocked, but I allowed it. Apparently kiss is not what Twitch wants. Relax. She brings a hand up, curling a lock of her hair behind her ear. I don't know, just that, have you ever felt like maybe you should have done something differently? Definitely. I stay silent, tapping my thumbs together. That maybe you've been smarter or been more courageous or really fought for that thing you want, that maybe things would have turned out differently? Ew, kissing, Twitch said. Hell yeah, I did. I run a hand through my hair. I think probably everyone feels that way to an extent. Yeah, I guess. There aren't any do-overs in life. I'll laugh. But I don't know, maybe that's why this feels so significant to me. The world's way of giving me a chance to change things. She looks over at me with this, her eyes just slightly strained. There's a sort of longing to her gaze. I can't decide if it makes me curious or uncomfortable. Maybe both. You're gonna stay down here then? I finally ask. Her lips curl into an embarrassed smile. No, I mean, just for a little while, is all. Besides, it's giving me good practice. Modeling, I mean. Okay, if she's being genuine, which I hope she is, that she's like, oh no, I'm just gonna, indulge in the fantasy for a little bit and then go home. That is true, but if that's the case, her fans are so crazy that if she actually tries to leave, I feel like they're gonna try to kill her. So, we're in for it no matter what, honestly, which is brilliant from a writing and storytelling perspective. And I want Gidget to be okay. Like, I've had so many shoots down here. My confidence feels through the roof. By the time I head back, I'll be a pro. There won't be an agent anywhere I can't impress. I mean, that might be true. That's great, yeah. Her smile twitches. I thought you'd be happy for me. Not the music fading out. I mean, I thought we were chilling. What do you mean? Am I not pretty now? I've got a whole fucking village telling me I'm beautiful. Okay, where's this coming from? Okay. Her eyes flash. I sit up with a start, lips pressed tight. I mean, I think you're gorgeous, but I always have. Her face softens, melts. I can almost see her eyes starting to quiver. Really? A red flush spreads across her cheeks. Is that true? She's giving Trixie Tang. Tell me I'm pretty! Which, love that for you, queen. But we're gonna have to tone it down a bit for me to just feel comfortable. Beads of sweat are beginning to break out on my forehead. I wipe them away as I run a hand through my hair. I mean, sure. She looks down at her lap, brings her hands together, plays with her thumbs. Iggy, there's actually something I've been meaning to tell you for a long time. My stomach is starting to flip-flop again. Oh, really? What's that? She looks away shyly, then turns back, curling a lock of hair on her finger. It's, well, considering where we are and all that, maybe I should just show you. Oh god. No. I blink in confusion. Not me being scared of a sex scene. That's what this game has done to me. It's changed me as a person. I would be pumping my fist right now in any other game, but in this game, it just sends shivers down my spine. I blink in confusion. What are you? But before I can finish, she moves forward. Potential trigger warning. There are a lot of trigger warnings for the game. I was hoping everybody kind of gives them a once-over before tuning in for the streams, but keep that in mind. Oh. She did it. Her hands go to my cheeks. She tugs me down, brings our lips together in a bruising kiss. Whoa! My system temporarily goes into shock. When I don't do anything, she presses harder, moving her lips against mine. Farting just long enough to let out a gasp of hot air against my mouth before diving back in, tongue roving and searching and slithering across my gums. The sweat from my forehead has returned, now replicating itself across my neck and back. That this is a talent to make a kiss scene horrifying. I never thought I would see the day. Her fingers slides against my cheeks, works down to my throat. Oof. And she follows with her mouth, sucking and licking down the length of my neck as she moans into my skin. Gidget, I don't think my lips are trembling. My whole body is trembling. I suddenly feel incredibly cold, tendrils of icy electricity making my nerves and muscles jump. I don't like this. Not me reading it like spitting bars. Oh god, I don't like this. Please don't. But her hands is already roving. I can feel it descending across my chest, across my stomach. Her fingers reach the rough denim of my jeans. Oh! First light dances on her fingertips, then cupping, massaging, working me through the fabric. Tears spring to the corners of my eyes. Oh no, God, no! This is so bad! Gidget, stop! She doesn't stop. She moans against me, sucking down hard on my neck. Gidget, stop! I finally wrench myself away, half falling off the bed in the process. My body is shaking uncontrollably now. Understandably. Gidget, however, can only look at me in shock. What's wrong? What is it? Did I do something wrong? Yes. Yes, you did. I take a moment trying to find my breath. I clench my fists to hide my quivering fingers. No. It's just I rub at my face. It's not that I don't like you. I do. Heck, I could even, I don't know, love you, maybe, if it came to that. I don't know. I bite down on my tongue. But I can't do that. Do what? I sigh at my own incompetence, forming words, and turn my gaze towards the ceiling. He likes her, yeah. I mean, does he like her physically? Or, like, I don't know why I'm avoiding saying it. Iggy is asexual. Like, it's clear. And obviously this part of being romantic is not easy for him, and is not something that he seeks. But that doesn't mean that he doesn't like Gidget, and it doesn't mean that he doesn't like the others either. It's just, that's not a part of being in the romantic relationship that he wants. And also consent. Just even if he wasn't asexual, that still isn't cool. Like, if she did that to me, I'd probably be down. But if I wasn't into her like that, then it's like, that would be crossing the line. And she crossed the line. So she needs to hear it from the horse's mouth. It makes me really uncomfortable. Maybe I just need more time, I don't know. Gidget's quiet for a moment, still. Then she sits back. I see, she says finally. So that's how it is. If this is a sass contest, you're losing every day, Gidget. I turn in confusion, but Gidget's looking away now, gazing off towards the far wall. What is? This is just your way of saying you don't want to be more than friends, is it? No, it's not. Oh, shut up. You like me, but you don't want to fuck me. Is that it? What man doesn't want to fuck a girl he likes? Oh, good lord. I'm sweating. I sit back up on the bed, riding myself. My voice seems to crack with every word. I said maybe. I just need more time is all. I'm honestly really confused too. I've never really been in this situation before. I don't really know what's wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with you. Stop with the fucking excuses. The sharpness of her tone catches me off guard, and I quiet instantly. The temperature of the room feels like it's dropping about 20 degrees. Her shoulders are hunched, her voice quiet. It was just too much to ask, wasn't it? What was? I whisper. Even after everything I've done. A chill bends and curves its... That was on you, sweetie. Like, not to be an asshole, but like, that was on you. You did not have to go that hard for this guy. Like, I get it, but you were down abysmally, man. 20 years? Like, come on. Grow up. Like, a chill bends and curves its way down my spine. But this one little thing was just too fucking much, was it? Ah! Oh god! She spins back towards me. Only her face is different, contorted. Yeah, I can see that. Her lips pulled back in a snarl that seems to stretch her entire face. Her pupils like pinpricks in her sunken sockets. Gidget, I fly backwards. Getzo any time now, please. But Gidget is already crawling towards me like some kind of spider. Her face twisted and warped. Guess you were just too good for me, was that it? Your pure, pristine dick too good to be put inside me? Oh my god! This is gagging me. She grabs a chunk of my hair, tugs it, and twists it. The pain is like a spark of electricity. Yeah, yandere lovers, you enjoying this? You enjoying this right now? Cause I ain't. I can tell you that one for free. And my eyes immediately go blurry with tears. She yanks me across the bed. I go down hard enough that even the soft mattress enough is to knock the wind out of me. I try to sit up to get away. Oh god, Genzo, oh god, is she gonna strangle us? We can't go out like this. But only managed to turn around on my back before Gidget is on top of me, slamming her seat down onto my stomach as her hands find my throat. Oh, yeah, punch her, Iggy! Gidget! My voice strains against her tightening grip. I'll never be good enough for you, will I, Iggy? She snarls, leaning forward until her full upper weight is centered atop my throat. Maybe no one is good enough for you, is that it? Perfect little Iggy. She is bitter. But I can't even form words now. My whole body feels like it's about to explode from the pressure. I can't breathe. She stops for a moment, her scowl softening. Then glances around the room, gaze topping on the desk. Her smile returns. Oh god, did she find a knife? She slides off me and the bed, and I instantly gasp, desperately pulling air into my lungs. My head spins, and I bring my hands to my throat in futile attempts to relieve the lingering pain. I hear a drawer opening. Footsteps. Oh god. Then the creak of the bed. Ah! It's so funny because I just played their route on Cinderella. The tone difference, yeah! I'm assuming Gidget and all the characters for that matter go through a lot of character development before the side games. Like, I believe in them, man, but this place just brings out the worst in everybody. And by the time my head is clear enough to open my eyes and register what's happening, Gidget is looming over me again. The time with a pair of long scissors. Oh, scissors are so much worse than a knife. Gidget! My body moves on instinct at the sight of the blades. I jerk forward. Reach out, attempt to pull myself away, even through the haze of pain. I knew I should have agreed with her. I'm just joking. But she's on top of me again. Heavy weight on my chest, a palm to my forehead, pushing me down, forcing my head into the mattress. Perfect little Iggy. Too good to fuck anyone. I can think of something you won't be needing then. Oh, she's gonna castrate us! I can feel her hand on my stomach. God! Then on the fly of my pants, she starts tugging on it. Nah, we fighting. We ain't shouting. You know what? That's safe. Iggy is brave in this moment. I am not. Fight back. Come on, girl. I got you. Equal rights, equal fights. Sheer adrenaline taking over. I jerk forward, hands swinging towards her face. I manage to scratch her cheek. She growls and shoves me back hard into the mattress. I try again, using everything I have to launch myself up on my elbows and push her off. Stay down, she snaps and lunges forward. Suddenly, everything stops. Both of us freeze. The scissors are inside me. I guess I should have known that Noodle Arms Iggy wasn't really going to be able to take her down. That was my bad. I had a little bit too much faith. A cold chill dances up my arms, along the back of my neck. Well, first bad ending, let's go! Gidget looks stunned at first, as though she can't believe she just did that. Then, her look of shock twists into a smile. Now, look what you did, she hisses through her curled lips. She jerks the scissors against me, blades further piercing my skin. Where's Genzo? Is he just not looking for us? This place cannot be that big. Gidget, I try, but my lips can't seem to find the words. Her smile widens. Another shove. Upwards this time. The sight must amuse her, because she laughs. Keeps laughing. She grabs the handle of the scissors tight in both hands, face contorting. Oh, Lord! Then forces the blade straight up through my belly and chest, slicing me wide open. I can see it. See myself spilling out. Sloppy, wet sausages you don't gotta say that. And the blood. It's everywhere. Painting my shirt, pants, the bed sheets below. My body shudders. Cold. I'm so cold. Don't look at me. Don't look inside me. The last thing I see before my eyes flutter closed is Gidget reaching her hand into the steaming pile of my intestines, fingers curling in the slop. I won't do anything to uncough with your bot. Oh! Not her gonna still do it! This bitch. She giggles, cackles. Then everything goes black. Irredeemable. No. She's not. Clearly this place is fucking her up somehow. Unfortunately, you were gutted. Yeah. But Gidget only did mildly uncough things to your body. Not uncough. Would you like to restart from your most recent choice? Yes, I would. Please. I mean, I already saved it, but, you know. Imagine if you're like, fight back anyway. Nah. Like I said, I should have known he didn't stand a chance. Well, I'm sure that was fun for everybody. How did we enjoy that? Good times, great times. It wouldn't be a joy stream if we didn't get at least one bad end. Choices and me just don't get along. Shout for help! So Genzo knows the fuck we are, so he could do something. I'm gone with my gut on this one. Going with your gut, that's funny. My only hope is if someone hears me. Help! That was the worst help. I pushed through the pain clawing on my throat, voice croaking. Help me! Louder this time. Help! Help! Help me! I just hear that TikTok sound. Okay, I'm ruining the moment. I'm sorry. Her hand leaves my forehead just long enough to reel back and slap me across the cheek. Okay, rude. My head shoots to the side so hard I see stars, and the side of my face burns like it's on fire. Oh, shut up. There's no one here to help you. She's still struggling to get my fly open one-handed. Oh! But she finally manages to wrest the button loose. She smiles, fingers roving through the hole in my boxer briefs. At that moment, a slam rocks the room, and the door flies open. What the fuck? Yeah, me. This whole game. Genzo stands in the doorway, slack-jawed. His gaze goes from Gidget to me to the scissors. Genzo, leave us alone. Gidget's voice is like a demonic growl, deep and low and echoing off the walls. I'm not sure what goes through Genzo's mind at that moment, or if anything does at all. It happens so fast. Oh, hell no! Oh, hell no! I hear him bellow. Yeah, get her! Get her ass! And then he's charging at us, charging straight at the bed, straight at Gidget. Quick, hit her with a lamp, yeah! No, gut her with the scissors. She doesn't have time to react. His hands hit her straight across the middle, and the force of the impact sent her flying. That's my man right there. She slams into the window behind her, shattering the glass instantly. Oh! He really did get her. He got her, guys. He didn't just subdue her. He didn't just knock her out. Give her the karate chop. Holy. Jesus indeed. In the words of the great Genzo, Jesus. Her body lands halfway across the frame. Hard. There's a nauseating squelch as the jagged, sharp shards of glass still protruding from the sill impale her from behind, jutting up through her chest like bloody daggers. I don't move. Genzo doesn't move. We both just stare at her limp body. Oh god, they're gonna hate us now because we killed her. It just gets worse and worse. Her dress is soaked clean through. Red, so much red. It's dripping off the glass, running down the wall, pooling on the floor. A strange sound rumbles in my chest. It builds, louder and louder, until it bursts from my lips as a groan, then buzzes and whirs in my throat. I scoot back along the bed, away from the window, until my back hits the wall. It reminds you of a scene in Perfect Blue. Yeah, you know what? You're right. It kind of does. I need a drink of water. I didn't take any during all those choices. Everybody stay hydrated. Stay hydrated, please. We just trauma bonded. We went through a lot just then. If everybody needs to take a second, I completely understand. Hopefully none of those drinking sounds came across the mic. If so, sorry. Fuck, Genzo says quietly at first, then louder. Fuck. Yeah. I bring my hand to my face, my knuckles to my eyes, clenching them shut, trying to block out the scene in front of me. What do we do? Come on, Genzo. Genzo smacking his head with his palms. Something loud moves up downstairs. Oh god. Tables and chairs creaking and toppling. Sliding, grinding footsteps on the hardwood floor. How are we gonna get out of this one? Genzo twists towards the doorway, darts into the hallway. We got big fucking trouble on our hands, Iggy. His voice shakes. I mean, I just did. I don't think they like we killed their idol. Yeah, of course they didn't. I watch him take a step back, then another. Then he leaps back into the room. Just before he manages to slam the door closed, I catch a glimpse of a person. If they could even be called a person. Their skin is gaunt and gray. Their eyes are puffy and red. I don't want to see this person. They claw at the door. I hear low moans as the door shakes and rattles beneath their nails. We need to get out of here, I say with a shudder. No shit, Sherlock. Genzo's glancing furtively around the room, but even I know the only exit is the window. I push myself shakily to my feet. There seems to be more outside the door now. The scratching has intensified. Genzo climbs onto the bed and over to the window, peering around Gidget's body to ascertain the situation outside. I say we use her body as, like, a cushion. So then that way when we jump down, it, like, lessens the impact. Gross. Bad. But deserved. I think we can make the jump. But Genzo winces. His breath hitches in his throat. I'm sorry, Gidget. Then he loops an arm around her pelvis and pushes. There's a crack. A snap as the... Oh, is he going to do it? Then another push all the way. He sends her sliding out the window and she disappears over the ledge. I hear a thud from outside. Her body lands on the overhang. Come on. Genzo reaches a hand towards me. I look towards him. Towards the window, then back towards the door. That door isn't gonna last long. Genzo jerks his hand in growing desperation. The door in question is visibly shaking now, lurch after lurch, sending in, thank you, Beth, sending in rattling on its hinges. I bite down on my lip and dart towards Genzo. It's at that moment that the door gives. It opens with a horrifying slam that sends the door flying backwards and bouncing off the wall. Go, zombies! Ha! And the body comes pouring in. There's so many of them. Oh, so those people that we saw, that's why we weren't really interacting with them, because they weren't actually people, they were just zombie stands. Yeah, alright. A whole pile of them spills over through the doorways. They clutch and crawl over each other to get inside the room. Genzo wastes no time. He grabs me around the waist, braces himself, and leaps. Shoulder first, he breaks through the remaining glass in the window frame and goes rolling out to the other side, taking me with him. We hit that overhang hard. A second later, the whole thing buckles beneath us and we go clattering to the ground below in shower of boards and shingles. I lay there for a moment, waiting for my ears to stop ringing and my body to stop screaming. Then push myself to my feet, careful to avoid any errant nails and broken wood. Genzo groans next to me. He nurses his shoulder as he sits up. Fuck my life. Yeah, for real. That our lives are about to get a lot more fucked, yeah. The groans are loud above us, and I glance up to see Gidget's rabid fans reaching and groping out through the window. Some of them are already attempting to pull themselves out after us, and the situation's not much better on the ground. More gaunt faces appear on the corners of the nearby buildings, limping and dragging themselves across the one-cheery cobbles. Genzo, what do we do? I hiss. Fuck, fuck, fuck. He lurches to his feet, clearly in pain, but he pushes through it, eyes clearing and gaze sharpening as he looks around. Then finally, come on, I have an idea. He takes off. I yelp at the sound of my body falling behind us, then quickly follow. I'm not sure where we're going at first. Oh. We round the corner and Genzo jerks backwards at the approach of another swarm of clawing, reaching hands. Other way, other way. We quickly reroute. Have I noticed? I feel like everything here has tried to eat us. There's not been a single, enemy that does not want to eat us. They really utilize. I mean, maybe Gidget. Gidget didn't want to eat us. But, everything else. The rabbit wanted to eat us. The tomato things. The tongue. The zombies. We just can't escape being eaten. We're just too tasty. Then straight on, back to the main street. Groans, moans, and guttural screeches filling the air around us. But why do they want to eat us? I guess they have no food here. I don't know. We're headed towards the pier. Past the bakery. Past the cafe. Then one more bend and the water appears, dark now, but lined with white, bobbing boats. That blue one! Genzo shouts, pointing somewhere towards the left. But they're everywhere now, spilling out of alleyways, falling from windows to splat against the ground. All of them lurching and reaching, bones creaking, eyes oozing. Cannibalism makes the world go round. Now is not a good time to bring up the fact that I think cannibalism is actually kind of a cool thing in media. Now's not the time for that. In! I don't even stop. I take a flying leap off the side of the pier and land against one of the boat seats so hard I swear I lose consciousness for half a second. No, don't apologize, you're good. It's just funny that I realized that. I was like, everything wants to eat us. We just look like, in cartoons where, the characters transform into food when the other character's hungry. I feel like Genzo just looks like a burger and we look like french fries to all these people. It's insane. Gidget wanted to eat us, but in a different way. Yeah, I don't want to think about it. But no, you're not wrong. Genzo's right behind me, the boat sloshing in the water as he comes tumbling on board. Hand to my head, I push myself back up, wait until my double vision recedes, and I can actually make out the pier and bodies swarming our way. Genzo, the rope! I try to walk forward, dizzy and wobbling. I got it! Genzo lashes on the rope, keeping the boat tied to the pier. Like in Woody Ho, I don't know how to spell his second name. I don't think I know what that is, but that's okay. That bird with the red hat. Oh, okay, yeah. I don't know it either, but I know what you're referencing. He resorts to simply yanking it and jerking tugs that send shudders through the boat's frame. They're getting closer, almost to the water now, like a hungry wave spilling over the edge of the bucket. I wring my hands to my hair, clutching at the curls. Then frantically begin searching the boat for anything that might free us from the rope. There's a pile of, just use your teeth, a flare gun, a couple of spare boards. Finally, underneath the front overhang, I find a small toolbox. We really do need to, get a weapon, though. We keep dying almost too much. God almighty, a rigging knife. I snatch it up, then fly over to Genzo and begin hacking at the rope. The individual fiber... Oh, I just thought the music stopped. The individual fibers snap one by one and agonizingly slowly, but it's working. I raise my hand for an extra punishing swing, only to find it caught mid-air. What do you mean? I look up to see my wrist ensnared by a set of grisly oh god! I scream! Ah! Jerk back. Use the knife, Iggy! But there's already more of them, and they're crawling forward, off the edge of the pier, groping and clawing at my arm, face, and hair. Oh god. There's 3, 4, 5 sets of fingers wrapped around my arm now, and I can feel my feet start to leave the ground. They're pulling me back. Genzo! I scream so loud I can feel my vocal cords rip. Genzo wraps his arm around my waist, digging his heels into the side of the boat. Let him go, you fuckers! Pain shoots through my shoulder and upper arm. They're gonna rip it off! Let him have it. You can probably survive. I start to hyperventilate, heart beating out of my chest. I wriggle, yank, swat desperately with my free arm as they pull and pull and pull, but even more are latching, forming a bridge of flesh from the pier towards the boat and allowing even more of those things to crawl across. I can feel their fingers dig into my hair, my scalp, scrape at my eyes and cheeks. Genzo groans behind me, and the pressure on my midsection builds as he clings to me tighter. Fuck, fuck, fuck. He jerks backwards. And this time, the force is so great, it sends the boat reeling backwards, and the final remaining fibers of the rope snap. The boat breaks free, and the zombies latch onto me and get pulled off their pier and into the water. I nearly go with them. Probably would have, too, if Genzo hadn't locked his legs on the underside of... He really is our saving grace! I feel the arms loosen, fall away, and use the new freedom to bat frantically at the ones that still remain. Finally, the last one loses its grip, and I watch the thing sink down into the inky blackness outside of the boat. Get fucked! It's all I can do to sit there and breathe, to not collapse right then and there. My knees feel like twin piles of goo. Arms weak, knees are heavy, mom spaghetti! I do wonder why they are zombies. It is a more commentary about the audience that consumes the Gidget content. You know what? That's probably exactly what it is. That's very smart, and that's a great thing to pick up on. Like, genuinely. I don't know why I didn't, because, like, that's what they always say. That's what Nicki Minaj fans look like to me. I can't be saying that, but... but yeah, they're zombies. Just mindless. Genzo unwraps himself from my waist, sliding backwards down onto his rear end. Jesus. I follow suit, sitting shakily on one of the seats. And I'm sitting there. As I'm breathing and shuddering and taking it all in, it hits me. Tears flood my cheeks. Yeah, Gidget's dead and everything's horrible and God, this place sucks. Like a river leaking down at my face. My shoulders broad, chest gasping, mucus oozing down my... Poor Iggy, man. I can't stop it. It's like someone's flipped a switch and now there's no going back. Genzo pulls himself up next to me, wrapping an arm around my shoulder. Cry it out, just cry it out. He gives my shoulder a firm squeeze. And that's exactly what I do. I'm not feeling too confident, guys. Hey, Lacey! Some crazy shit just happened. We got chased by zombies. And we killed a lady after that lady killed us. So, going good. Going great. We float across the water all night. We try to stay awake at first, patch ourselves up, remain vigilant. But the wiry tendrils of sleep are quick to descend. How could you even sleep? I curl up with my head on the pile of rigging, hugging my arms to my chest and hoping to all things holy that when I wake up I'll be back in my bed. And all this will have been nothing but a horrible nightmare. But it's not. And when I creak my bleary eyes open again to take in the sun on the horizon, all I see is a wide swath of blue, as far as the eye can see. It happens. Yeah, you can say that. We take turns rowing with the spare boards lying at the bottom of the boat. I'm unsure if it does anything, but it feels more productive than sitting there twiddling our thumbs. My voice is still hoarse, my throat raw. Genzo tells me my neck looks fine, but his look of concern betrays him. I must look awful, especially with all the scratches I can feel stinging my cheeks and forehead. I can't imagine Genzo feels much better. I catch him rubbing his shoulder when he doesn't see me looking. We don't speak about what happened. That would make it too real. Instead, we sit mostly in silence. Big sad. Rowing. Resting. Watching the sun rise overhead, then begin its slow descent back down. Oh, the sky has just started to turn a soft shade of pink when Genzo makes a noise. He points in the direction we're floating. Spires on the horizon. Land. I smile in spite of myself. Thank fucking God. Is it? Thank fucking God? Because I feel like we're safer on the water right now, to be completely honest. Like, obviously, we can't, like, survive here for very long, but that just means more people, more creatures, more bullshit. Like, nothing could top what just happened at this point. No. Do not say that. How fucking... You know what, Iggy? You deserve whatever comes next because of what you just said. What do you mean? Right. Yeah, okay. Right, sure. I'm sure whatever's coming up is going to be the worst thing that's happened so far. Which is crazy to say, because we nearly got sexually assaulted and got our guts ripped out by scissors, okay? And then chased by zombies, like... And Orlom's next, and of course Orlom's going to be the worst. Of course he's going to be the fucking worst. No offense, I love him, he's weird, but he's the worst just normally. So imagine if you take weird... to like 9 out of 10 and then add evil to it, okay? He's gonna like be the most experimental awful to us ever. Can you believe we're only in Act 1? Out of 5? Oh God. Carrot, that mind, man. The floating spires turn out to be attached to a castle, a large castle. You know what? Before we dive into this, everybody take a pee break. I'm gonna take a pee break. I'm gonna get some water, replenish, and then get back in for the next half of the stream, basically. So, I'll only be gone for a little bit, like maybe 2-3 minutes at most. Enjoy my soft, nice music. Okay, and we're back. I just needed to like scarf down the rest of my strawberries and drink my drink. Alright, we're ready for some more nonsense. No one is making squids with me. I would make them with you if I knew how. I'll be leaving now. Bye. Bye, Len. Thank you for dropping by. I had a lot of fun. I don't know how to make these. I'm sorry. Yeah, don't worry. Like I said, the VODs will be up. YouTube videos will be up. So you'll be able to see the rest. I'll be streaming tomorrow as well if you feel like you want to drop by. So have a good night. It's okay. We'll have a good night. Alright. Squid. Alright, and as we row closer, it looms all the larger, soaring walls, giant towers, twisting walkways, and glittering red peaks. Thank you. We'll have a good stream, we'll have fun, we'll all bond together. Surrounding on the outside by a wide moat, and even further out by the red and orange roofs of a small castle town. Genzo whistles between his teeth. Quite the hunk of architecture, am I right? Was there— he didn't say am I right, I just said that. Was there ever a castle here? I asked softly as I feel myself becoming much smaller in the shadow. No, Orlon built it. Don't remember, but that's not saying much. I chew on the inside of my cheek. There's no flashes of memory here, not like back in the village. But we are quite a ways from the cottage now. We might have never even come out this far before. There's a scraping rumble beneath us, and the boat slows to a stop. We've hit land. There's no dock or pier here. Instead, the lake simply glides up against the bank, almost like some kind of grassy beach. R.I.P. to that ponytail girl. I won't forget her. Like, she kind of got... we kind of glazed over her, but R.I.P. We hop out to the boat into the ankle-deep water and drag it out with the rest of the way, not wanting it to get swept up back out in the water lest we need it for another quick escape. My feet squished inside my shoes. Things really went next level since I last tuned in. I'd stay on the boat. That's what I said. But I imagine that, you know, like, they're gonna have to eat eventually, I'm assuming, and then they're still looking for Buxley and the fucking baby. You know, but at least the baby's probably safe because Bux is probably evil too. And I don't know. I don't know. That's really just sums it up. I don't know, and I'm scared. It's pretty dark now, and I'm not too keen on walking around this place at night. Or period, honestly. Maybe there's a place to shack up in town? Genzo rolling the legs of his pants back down around his ankles. I simply nod. A soft place to lay our heads would be a more welcome respite at this point. Have we seen Orlom? We have not. But I have every suspicion that he's the king that these rabbits have been talking about. And we just landed at a castle, so 2 + 2, you know? So I led us up to the hill and in the direction of the buildings we saw earlier. It's not far. Already I can see what... And I feel like Orlom's going to be the worst, and that's why they're saving him for last, at least in Act 2, or Act 1. So I'm like, already I can see what looks like a fishing shack's just up the bend, and past that, a cobblestone rope leading into the town proper. I pop my head in the open door of one of the shacks. No one there, and no one traveling the road either. It's almost eerily quiet, but better than a bunch of freaks. Ding dong, anyone home? I cannot believe Genzo can still joke at a time like this. This is a kind of humor trying to cover the trauma that I could never get to. This is like level 10. I'm at level maybe 1. 1, 2. Genzo knocks on the other one of the doors. He shrugs at the lack of reply. Oh, what is this? We follow the road towards what seems to be the center of town. More and more buildings lining up on either side. But even here, the paths remain empty, and the windows of the buildings are dark. The only sound is the fountain in the middle of the square, tinkling, tinkling, tinkling. I know I've got a bit of a reputation, but I didn't think it was that bad. This feels weird. I think that's pronounced fucked up. I look to the left. 2 buildings that look like stores sit silent and motionless. Hastily scrawled closed signs hang askew from their doors. I look to the right. The dark windows of a small cafe stare back hauntingly, its outdoor seat area devoid of life. I'm gonna try something. Genzo Are you gonna scream? Don't you dare. Genzo cups his hands around his mouth. He takes a deep breath. Genzo, no! I hiss across his arm. Me and Iggy. What? He shoots me a look of confusion. Bro, what do you mean, what? Okay, you might have saved us, like, every time. So you can get away with doing stupid shit. But let's not. And say we did. But suddenly, for some reason, making noises feels like a really bad thing. The whole back of my neck is tingling. Okay, so we're definitely not doing that. I tilt my head, straining my ears. Footsteps. Marching. Oh, God, not the rabbits again! Oh, God. Far away now, but getting closer. We need to hide. I promptly yank Genzo off, towards the gap between 2 nearby buildings. We hunker down in a shadow with our backs to the wall, waiting, listening. The footsteps are close now. And that rhythm. Sharp and methodical and perfectly in time. I already know who it is that's going to appear from around the building. A battalion of... And I know Orlom is in charge of these fucking rabbits. I can't prove it. I just feel like that's true. By the square, 2 by 2, ears jouncing, eyes twitching, and boots smacking the ground in harmonized cadence. Okay, and there only really is one evil rabbit. So maybe, if we're able to, like, talk to the other rabbits, they might not be the worst, but I haven't met a single person so far in Wonderland that's been decent, alright? Just, it has not happened. Jesus, I hear Genzo whisper beneath his breath. I press my back even tighter against the wall. The rabbits come to a synchronized stop in front of the fountain. Even the flower? We don't know about the flower yet. I really don't know what to think about the flower at all. I want to like them, obviously. But I have a suspicion that it's like Orlom's talking piece. And again, I can't prove it. He used the same insult that Genzo used towards Orlom, so it just makes me think. But it could just be a writing thing, so who knows. I try not to speculate too much because then I get too caught up in the speculations and I'm not seeing the story for what it is, so I'm trying to just maybe stay in it. It's not the same battalion as before, that much I can tell. Their leader, at least, doesn't seem quite as jumpy. Well, that's something, but I'm pretty sure he's still just as capable of killing us. The rabbit in question procures a folded sheet of parchment from within his armor, unfolds it, coughs, then squawks. Chanticleer Ellens, you are hereby under arrest by order of the king. You are to surrender yourself peacefully. Failure to do so will be understood as treason to the crown, and we will be forced to use whatever means necessary to detain you. Just say off with your head. Just say it. Another cough. He lowers the paper, looks around. The square is still empty. He scowls and rolls his eyes. Search the houses! He belts and returns the paper to the slit in his armor. Chatter, did you just spend like the last 5 minutes trying to learn how to squid? The other rabbits set to motion immediately, each of them darting out towards a different house. They don't even bother knocking. They slam open the doors with their shoulders and disappear inside. I'm a pro-Witcher. Oh my gosh. Their frenzied stomping is soon mixed with frightening yelps and screams. There are people inside. I gulp, clench my eyes shut. The squid chat. Why squids, by the way? Like, is it relevant? Or is it like, it's just a cute little thing? They're free Twitch emoji. Oh, okay. Well, I like him. Squid Squad. That's cute. Squids are cute, I like them. And they're tasty. Sorry. A high-pitched scream bites through the air. Oh god, not another mouse. Found her, sir. One of the rabbits oh no, it was a lady. She just is screaming very, like, sharply. One of the rabbits emerged from a house on the other side of the square. His hand is clenched in the long, blonde hair of a woman in a brown dress, and he's dragging her out in sharp yanks and punctuates her screams. Excellent work, Sentry. The lead rabbit marches over in 2 crisp steps. He slides the paper back out, unfolds it, coughs. Chanticleer Ellens, you are hereby under arrest by the order of the king. You are too sure. She screams even louder, on and on and on. Even from as far away as we are, the sounds of it jab my eardrums like a knife. The lead rabbit stops and sighs. Just take her in. He jabs a thumb in the direction of the castle. The sentry salutes, then drags her kicking, squirming body across the cobblestones. Doors slam around us as the rest of the sentries abandon their search. Okay, so if I'm right, which I think I am, because I played the O2A2 entry, and Orlam did look like a king, and I believe some of his dialogue reflected that. Was his wish that he wanted to be a king? Is he 12? Like, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna insult Orlam no matter what. It doesn't matter. I'm just gonna clown on him every chance I get. Especially if I see him in that, especially if he starts to scare me. I feel my chest begin to loosen. Over here, sir. It takes me a second to realize the shout is coming from behind us. I turn just as one of the sentries bunt Genzo with the butt of a spear. Genzo yelps, rams into me, and we both go sprawling out in the street. 2 suspicious individuals hiding over here. They're just gonna take us in. It's fine. I attempt to push myself up to my knees, only for the sentry's boot to come down hard on my back. Well, 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 what do we have here? The lead rabbit muses. Oh, still take place during Arc 2. Oh. I'm sorry, I'm misunderstanding the message. I'm sorry. I hear him march towards us, crisp and methodical. Up, he gestures. Before I can wonder what he means, the sentry has grabbed both of us by the back of our collars and heaved us off the ground. Oh, Iggy. The fabric of my shirt. Save the last dance shirt. Oh, yeah. Okay, my bad. I didn't know that was, and it takes place during Arc 2. Okay. I didn't even recognize the acronym. Acronym? I don't know if that's the right word. I love Save the Last Dance. Save the Last Dance is the reason why I am playing this today, because I, like, saw it and I was like, okay, that's gotta go to the front. Like, I'd always wanted to, but it, like, really pushed me in being like, okay, Joy, you need to, like, play it now. Even though it still took me, like, 6 months because Lord of Lies, but we're not gonna talk about it. I'm not gonna talk about it. The fabric of my shirt digs into my throat, and my arms are flung up to my either side like a chicken about to take flight. Yes, everything about that game was great. I left a huge-ass message under that you could read on the itch page. I was like, I try to kick to fight, I really do, but my feet don't even touch the ground. Aw, short king, except he's not, he's pretty tall. And all I managed to do... No, apparently these rabbits are 7.3 feet tall, according to Carrot. So, fun fact for all of y'all, they're just huge. I'm glad Joy's streaming it because I don't have time to sit down and play long games anymore, and this is nice because then I can watch and listen while doing homework and stuff. I'm glad I could be that for all of y'all. I could suffer for you guys' benefit. No, it's not suffering at all. I'm having a blast. But I'm glad that I'm able to play for most people because it is kind of a big time sink. But, you know, I'll be you guys' One Piece. I'll be you guys' audiobook. The lead... Oh, do not grab me. The lead rabbit grabs me by the chin and wrenches my head forward. His fingers bite into my jaw and cheeks. Interesting. He twists my head to the right, to the left, then lets my head drop as unexpectedly as he grabbed it. He moves on to Genzo. Genzo just grins. If you wanted to play rough, all you had to do was ask. King! King shit! I always did have a thing for bondage play. Okay. Not the time. This rewards Genzo with a backhand slap to the face. He yelps. Shut up. Shut up, you bucket of bolts. But something must catch the rabbit's eyes because his ears go as straight as lightning rods. He grabs Genzo again and jerks his head on the other way. This one. This is the one His Majesty is looking for. Oh no. Orlam has too much power, and he does not like Genzo. So we can all just make an assumption right here and now of what's gonna happen. And Iggy ain't strong. Iggy can't even fight Gidget. I mean, granted, Gidget's probably strong, but Iggy can't do shit. Alright? So how are we gonna save Genzo? I don't know. Oh god. The rabbit smiles, laughs, grin reaching towards his ears. Sir? The sentry holding us asked. Then with a squawk that makes my ears ring. Bring them in! Both of them! Not get 'em, Orlam! Whose side are we on? The lead rabbit lets Genzo's head fall and clasps his hands together, clearly tickled pink. We'll be eating well tonight, gentlemen. Sir, the sentry tries to salute. King Orlam on top. Look, I like Orlam too, okay, guys? But we don't like Wonderland. We don't like Wonderland. We want regular Orlam, not has all the power in the world Orlam. But you know what? We support him no matter what. We're having fun. Then must realize he can't has his arms full of, well, us, and simply straightens instead, clinking his heels together. Back in formation! The lead rabbit screeches again, and the sentries are quick to get back in line. Did they just say they're gonna eat well tonight? I didn't catch that. I don't think so. I think they're just gonna bring us to Orlam. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that's all. Not that I love Ginger Man. I'm shaking my fist right now. I'm shaking it. Are they gonna eat us? Orlam's gonna try to eat us, for sure. He likes Iggy. So, I mean, that means something, but he doesn't like Genzo and we do. I'm speculating so much, I'm so scared. But the build up to this is brilliant, like, really. Just when I'm wondering if we're going to be carried like this the whole way, the world turns upside down and I'm tossed like a sack of potatoes over the Hold up. Hold up, wait a minute. The last time... No, I'm speculating again. The last time Iggy was picked up like that was Bucks. Bucks picked us up like that. How is Bucks involved? What's Bucks' endgame, I wonder? Where is she? Is she working with Orlam? I just want to know. Is she training the rabbit soldiers? I have so many questions. I have so many. My forehead smacks the backside of his armor with an audible clang. When my head stops spinning, I glance over to see Genzo draped over the shoulder of another sentry. It's all I can do to throw him a look of helplessness as the marching begins anew beneath us, taking us towards the castle and whatever or whoever awaits us there. We know! We know! You don't know, but I know. We all know. Dude, I'm not ready. I'm ready, but I ain't ready. After that Gidget shit, like, how can it get worse, man? That was awful. It was great, but it was awful. The shiny marble floor of the grand hall welcomes me in the castle with a crack to my jaw. I simply lie there for a moment as the tendrils of pain shoot up through my shoulder and face, then slowly push myself up with my hands. I swear I can still hear the reverberating slap of my body hitting the floor echoing off the walls. In front of us is the grand staircase, and when my gaze follows it upward, I'm met with the highest ceiling I've ever seen. Up, up, up it goes, and decorated with multiple crystalline chandeliers at its peak. Stained glass windows with brilliant kaleidoscope designs line the wall on the way back down, following on the lower levels of dark-colored tapestries at least 3 times my height. I suddenly feel very small. Attention! A screech from behind me, and the sentries circling us pull a crisp salute. Genzo groans and rolls over, then pushes himself up the seat. After having experienced it, I can now say that getting thrown over your shoulder like a continental soldier is not the romantic fantasy I'd always envisaged. There you go. It's quiet for a moment. Then... Is that clapping? Uh-huh. Uh-huh! I knew it, you motherfucker! I knew it! And granted, it was the O2A2 project, but I would have guessed it even without the O2A2 project. I'm on to you. I'm on to you, the man of the hour. Him. He's here. My pronouns are just he, because I'll never be him. Glad to see that mouth of yours hasn't changed despite your newly regained visual acuity. At least his speech makes more sense in this king cosplay he's doing. It's Orlom. Yes. Yes, it is. Fucking Orlom. Correct. Sporting a gaudy ass fuck crown, a red velvet cape with white and black fur, and escorted on either side by a pair of over-embellished rabbit attendants. My jaw drops nearly to the floor. Genzo, you're gonna fuck around and find out. This ain't funny. It's funny to make, like, it's funny that he, like, decided, oh, I'm gonna be king, because he's literally a 12-year-old and he's weird. But, like, he has actual power here. So, like, can we relax? Genzo has to bring a hand to his mouth to stifle his laughter. He nearly chokes. What the fuck, Orlom? You look like the love child of Prince John and Madame Medusa. Damn. So you're gonna say shit and then you're not even gonna say anything scathing? That ain't it. That ain't it. Orlom's face goes red. He clenches his fist. You. His jaw tightens. Softens. He forces a smile. Must be so tired having walked all this way. Oh, why is he playing nice? I push myself to my feet with a little wobble. It's not so bad. It is a little bit much. Do we want to be honest? I think we do. Fuck you. It's been a bit much. I say beneath my breath. I stick out a foot to catch my balance. Only for the nearest sentry to thrust his spear right in front of my stomach. I jerk backwards with a stumble that almost sends me back to the floor. No, there's no need for any of that. Orlom spreads his arms. These are my guests. I want you to treat them with nothing but the utmost respect until they piss me off, and then I'm gonna switch it. He glides towards us, little cape fluttering. Yeah, he's a tiny little cape. Like, grow up, dude. And the sentry pauses, but ultimately retracts his spear. Orlom tut-tuts beneath his breath, lands to my collar to fix the skewed fabric. Look at you look awful. He wipes the dirt off from front of my shirt, and smooths down the hem. Ooh. No, that won't do. Look at you cleaned up. Get some food in those bellies, and you'll stay in two of my grandest rooms. I like that he says two. Like, he's like, you guys are not sleeping in the same room? Iggy's sleeping in my room. That's what he's thinking. I just know it. Genzo huffs to his feet next to me and straightens his hat. Who died and made you king, huh? Genzo, I'm gonna need you to just stop. As a fellow yapper, as a fellow obnoxious personnel, I'm gonna need you to cut it out. Orlom just smiles, that off-kilter smile of his, laughs. Every syllable is perfectly enunciated with an identical gap in between. I'm still working on my speech. Once I get my Orlom voice down, it's over for the rest of y'all. Genzo needs to learn to zip it. In this one instance, yes he does. In every other instance he could say whatever, but he don't fuck with you, my dude. He don't, so stop. You might have power before, but you ain't got power here. Generous, gracious, kind, exemplary. Those are words that you could use for an actual king, not Orlom. Wouldn't you like to know? Wait, who died make him king? Wouldn't you want... Oh, who did he kill? Who do we kill, Orlom? You can tell me. Orlom sends us off to the baths, each with our own rabbit attendant. Ugh. Our own incredibly doting rabbit attendant. It's weird enough when my attendant helps me undress, but it gets exceptionally weirder the moment he guides me into the tub and he begins scrubbing me down. Oh god. You know, I can watch myself, I say as I blow a cluster of bubbles off my nose. The rabbit has my wrist in the air and is currently scrubbing the underside of my arm. His Majesty wants to ensure you're spotless, is the only response I get. Once the cleansing has finished, and I feel as though I've lost about 3 layers of skin, I am toweled off and dressed in a thick white robe. Honestly, this is scarier than just almost being eaten. I don't know how we've gotten here, but somehow we have. Then it's to the large vanity, where my curls are blown dry, and where I'm given a choice view of the state of my face for the first time. I grimace in the mirror. Purple and brown bruises form a circle around my throat. Oh, coming to a head just beneath my ears, and my cheeks are lined with rough red patches from where Gidget tried to strangle us. Even my eyes look bad, dark and red and sporting twin black circles that stretch towards my nose. My attendant finishes brushing out my now fuzzy hair, and I place my glasses back on my nose. Thankful their thick frames hide some of the damage around my eyes. There's a knock at the door, and another rabbit enters the room, holding a neatly folded set of clothes. It takes me a second to realize they're my own. Wait, when did you... They've been cleaned and dried and perfectly pressed. I have no idea how. I couldn't have been in the bath longer than 20 minutes. My attendant, of course, has no inclination of letting me dress myself. I raise my arms and he tugs my shirt over my head, smoothing it carefully across my front and back, then tugs me into my pants and cinches the waist tight with the clasp. My fear of doing something wrong and everything going to hell supersedes my severe discomfort with the whole situation. Once I'm finally finished, my attendant leads me back onto the hall. Genzo and his attendant emerge from the door on the opposite side at almost exactly the same time. He looks disturbed. Was that the weirdest fucking thing you've ever experienced, or did they do something different to you? He hisses at our attendants guide us back down the stairs. You mean with the bathing and everything? Yes, he shoots with an attendant a wary look. My guy definitely spent too long on my dick. Okay, I feel my face flush. I didn't really pay attention. Truth be told, I'd spent most of my time in the bath with my eyes closed and thinking of England. Of England? Okay. At the bottom of the steps, we turn right, and the rabbits take us down a grand corridor lined on either side with Titanic-sized flags. Each one we pass is a darker shade of red, leading to a giant set of double doors at the end of the hall. 2 more rabbit attendants step to the side as the doors open, and on their own like magic, revealing an enormous golden ballroom. And its center... Okay, that food don't look good. Alright. And I'm pretty sure that this is like people we're eating, because this needs to be the most off-kilter, insano thing ever. So that's my crazy theory. It's some of the most opulent food I've ever seen in my life. Plump roast, people. Golden rolls, also people. Buttery pies, people. Cakes with more tiers than I can count. Probably just cakes. And colors, so many colors, bright and vivid, and all of it steaming hot, sitting atop brilliant bronze tableware that gleams in the light of the chandeliers. There's even a real working fountain. Butter cameo, yes! More butter! Pumping out what looks like pints of liquid chocolate. My eyes practically bug out of my head. Next to me, Genzo makes the sign of the cross in front of his chest. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. Don't be corny. A feast for the eyes, no? Who, you are the feast, buddy? Sorry, even when I'm scared to death, gotta flirt. It's just in my nature. We spared no expense. I laugh. Not that we need to. Do you have to do the creepy coming out of the shadows thing like some kind of fucking rodent? I mean, he is a little rat man. He's my rat man. He's my rat king. Aww. Like in, you know, the Nutcracker. That's cute. Rat King Orlam. Wow. I get to eat like this every night, but I'm sure it's quite the treat for both of you. Yeah, we're really impressed with your ability to wish your way into power. Kenzo rolls his eyes. Orlam ignores him. He ambles over and throws his arm around both of our shoulders. Gentlemen, it's been so long. Can't we just enjoy this evening of opulence together? Okay, I think I'm getting his voice. The night is still young, after all. Let's live like kings, or as, close to it as you two will ever get. Genzo winces, but allows himself to be guided towards the table at the same. It is a rather tempting sight. He's so goofy, dude. We're seated on either side of the table, more sets of rabbit attendants scurrying to ready our chairs. Orlam himself sits at the head of the table on an extravagant throne that looks like it could fit 5 of him inside of it. Or perhaps sits isn't the right word, more like lounges. He leans back almost amongst the pile of cushions, blankets lining the seat, chin balanced on his palm. Then raises his arm in the air and snaps his fingers. One of the rabbit attendants, aside the far door, darts over and places a golden wine glass in his outstretched hand, then immediately fills it. Orlam swirls it. Okay, my headcanon is that Orlam doesn't even like alcohol, he just drinks it because he thinks it'll make him look cool. Glances at us, both simply watching him in awkward disbelief. He waves a hand in exasperation. Eat! I snap my head back towards the food. I am hungry. Famished, even. I haven't had anything to eat since arriving here. Yeah, you've only drank beer. I reached forward and began grabbing some of the best-looking items off the table, filling up my plate. Genzo snorts as he forks a giant slice of roast and rips half of it off with his teeth. You sure got everyone whipped around here. I mean, what do you expect? I am king. I can do whatever I want, and no one's gonna stop me. He takes another gulp of his wine. It feels good to be respected for once. Yeah, we know. I spoon a dollop of buttery potatoes into my mouth. My mind goes immediately to the town outside and that woman we saw dragged screaming from her home. A little iron-fisted, isn't it? A shrug. They need discipline. You should have seen the place when I arrived. Nothing but chaos. Anarchy. No one to keep the masses in line. This is followed by a smirk. I'm making great progress. Bro, there ain't nobody here. Oh, I get it. No one likes you, so you have to force them to like you. Should've expected no less from you, Big O. You know what, Genzo, you're so right. You're so right. But this is not the time. Orlum twitches, but otherwise doesn't react. He leans forward with the ever-present smile. Wine, gentlemen? His arm's gone up before we have a chance to respond, and another snap sends 2 rabbit attendants to the table with ready glasses to serve us. Oh, sure. Don't mind if I do. Genzo promptly down about half his glass in one gulp. You know, that could be poisoned. I'm just saying. I sip slowly at my own, washing down a chunk of what seems to be bacon-wrapped asparagus. Okay, that sounds bomb. You know what? I'm on board. It's actually great hair. Yeah, it is scary how he's brushing it off. Because the old Orlum would have just, like, cried. No. He's, like, all, like, taking tallies in his head. And then he's like, okay, 30 stabs, 1 for every time Genzo says some stupid shit. My gaze goes back to Orlum. He's watching Genzo, of course he is, staring at Genzo, leaning forward, chin in his hand, grinning from ear to ear. His eyes follow Genzo's every move, from the movement of the wineglass from the mouth to the table, to the forkfuls of cottage pie he shovels into his mouth. Something inside me, deep down beneath my bowels, sparks and twists in strange discomfort. Orlum picks up a fork and uses it to cut off a small piece of a bright red meatloaf. He jabs onto the tines, then floats it in Genzo's direction. Try some of the loaf. Genzo wipes the pie crumbs off his mouth, gobbles up the piece on Orlum. I like that he's just like, you know what, fuck it, I'll just eat out of this dude's hand, who cares? Without question, then sets the bowl of stew. He slurps up a spoonful, then raises a finger, still chewing. Is this choo-choo train? Not Orlum being like, here comes the airplane, ooh! And then Genzo's like, ooh, yum! My goobers, all of them. None of this negates the fact that I think you're a conniving douchebag, you know. Just that I'm really hungry. Thank you for clarifying. Oh, I wouldn't have it any other way. Orlum places the fork back down, hands to his cheeks like a pining lover. Another lightning-like jab in my gut. As hungry as I am myself, I'm having a hard time fighting the constricting twist in my stomach. Okay. Quick aside. Obviously Iggy likes Genzo. And, like, he admitted that he likes Gidget, too. So is he, like, actually developing feelings for Genzo at this point? Which, that makes sense. I mean, he's saved us a gajillion times. And Orlum's aware of this. So he's, like, trying to make us jealous? Because he likes us? Hey, guy who could kill me, go fuck yourself. But thanks for the food! You know, Stacks, it's funny that you're making fun of it. I feel like this would just be you in this situation, to be honest. Like, which makes you great, but it also makes you not a survivalist in any sense of the word. I think at some point I would just be so fed up as like, just kill me, dude. Like, I don't care. Fuck you, kill me. These potatoes are divine! Okay, now, get a room already. Can't I get some too? Okay, are we gonna be pathetic, bitter, or weird? Like, is there even a correct choice here? I'm being slandered. No! I think that's a good thing. I like Genzo. It's just not... He's bold, but stupidly bold. I can keep my mouth shut when I want to. No, I'm sure you could. I'm sure you could. It's just funny to think, just be like, no, fuck you, actually. In my case, I'd forget everything and scarf down all those buttery potatoes. Fair? But he's just fattening us up for the kill, is what I was trying to say. I don't want to be weird. I don't want to be bitter. Let's just be pathetic. I'm not sure what it is that makes me say it, to be honest. Joy. Joy made you say it. Perhaps a joke to ease the situation. Sorry, Gray, you were just a second too late. I would have done that instead. I mean, I still can. Wait, I forget that I can just go back. We do what the chat says in this house. Get a room already. Just be better. As usual, when placed with an uncomfortable situation, I try to divert anyone's attention with a not-so-well-placed joke. Was that a joke? Stick to your day job, Iggy. Jokes aren't for you, my friend. Jeez, you two, why didn't you just get a room already? And then Orlam's like, yeah, okay. I force a chuckle. Genzo twitches, lips pulling back in a grimace. He begins sawing wordlessly at his steak. Oh, God. Orlam, on the other hand, shoots me a glare. What? What did I say? I bring up my hands in confusion. Always the kidder, are we? Orlam's eyes widen. God, sorry. I drop my gaze. Just trying to make conversation. Then take to my food, spearing an egg over the top of my potatoes, watching the yolk run down across the folds. In that case of the game, this is honestly very accurate in more ways than one. Yeah, probably. Maybe if you two wouldn't be at each other's throats all the time. At each other's throats, Genzo snaps. More like this fucker wouldn't be such an obnoxious jackass all the time. Oh, so it's my fault. When you're the one who thinks his shit smells better than... Wait, hold up. Is there a history here? Have I managed to scan over that? Oh my god. I'm having like a That's a Raven moment, but I'm going back. I'm having a flashback. Is the reason they're so uncomfortable and bitter towards each other because they had a thing together? Are they divorced? Yeah, like... Hold up. Okay. It's making a lot more sense here. If they're exes, that means a lot. Phew. Okay. What did I ever do to you, huh? Now Genzo springs to his feet. You existed. You ever thought about that? Just the sight of you makes me nauseous. You know, this feels like it's making fun of, like, in a good way. In, like, a lighthearted, way of making fun of people who like enemies to lovers. To people who don't like it, this is what it looks like. Like, just genuinely. Now Genzo... Yeah. Guys, holy fuck. I jerk halfway up and out of my chair, waving my hands. Can we just calm down here? I can't help but notice the nearest rabbit attendants have moved closer to the table. Genzo turns away with a huff. He slumps back down in his chair, chewing slowly on the food still in his mouth. I throw a glance at Orlam. He's just sitting there, jaw clenched and fingers tight around his wine glass. For just a moment, I swear I see water glinting in his eyes. Oh. Then his earlier smirk returns. I see him throw a pointed glance at the nearest rabbit attendant. He nods his head, and the rabbits move back towards his previous positions near the door. Yes, there's no reason to bicker. Civility is stability, He swirls his wine, takes a sip. I press my lips together in discomfort, now wishing I hadn't said anything at all. Yeah, like, it's hard for me to dislike any of these characters because I know that, like, they're not really like this. They're just severely overcompensating, like, in these positions. And I know Orlam is just really struggling, man. But it's just like, no one should have this fucking power. No one. So, Orlam, I start wiping off my napkin with a hand. My mouth with a napkin. What's your plan then? You just gonna stay down here? Orlam rests his chin in his hand almost lackadaisically. Oh, I don't know. Just playing it by ear, I guess. It's not like anyone's gonna miss me up there. Oh. And there's just, you know, so much good I can do here. Why rush things? Why indeed, I mutter to myself, disguising my words with a wine glass. I cough, but have you looked at, wow, okay. But have you looked at all into how the door opened in the first place? You obviously have quite a bit of a reach down here. You could be looking into what's going on, searching for bucks. Yeah, you really could. Orlam blows a raspberry. Sounds like a lot of work. He raises his wine glass above his head, slowly spinning it back and forth. Besides, if Bucks is down here, she must not want to be found. I certainly haven't seen any traces of her, and neither have any of my men. Genzo guffaws. Goof. Oh, good night, y'all. Enjoy the rest of the stream. Joy, make sure to update me if anything juicy happens. I'm sure there will be, and I will. Have a good night. Thank you for dropping by. If I was stuck down here with you, I'd steer clear too. More wine, Genzo? Orlam asked lazily. Does a chicken have lips? Another snap of the fingers. Then a rabbit attendant returns to the table with a newly opened bottle of wine filling up Genzo's glass. Despite the blasé response, his words do give me pause. Orlom's rabbit soldiers seem to be everywhere. If even they've never run into Bucks, maybe she really isn't here? But that just doesn't make any sense. Something wrong, Iggy? Orlom's leaning towards me this time. Not enjoying your food? I give a little start. No, it's not. Run a hand through my curls. Tidy tendrils of sweat are beginning to form on my forehead. Just not feeling super hot, I guess. Maybe I need to lie down for a bit? Of course. You've surely been, through quite the ordeal. He snaps his fingers again. Guards, take Ignatius to the room. We've prepared, not the full name. He needs his rest. 2 guards emerge from the main doorway. They march over and pull my chair away from the table. Not the full government name. It's so silly, dude. It really does feel like he's a kid playing pretend. Like, even though he has, like, actual real power, it's like if a kid had actual real power. It's like the kid in Game of Thrones, the Prince Joffrey. Like, it's literally just that, except Orlom, I'm sorry, you'll never be... No matter what you do to us, you're never going to be as bad as him, in my eyes. Okay? Love you. He's still chomping away happily. Catch up with you later, eggs! Okay, you're just going to stay down here? Alright, whatever. Yeah, okay. Sleep well now. Orlom waves, and the guards lead me out of the ballroom and back into the hallway. Interesting. My head is really starting to feel fuzzy now. I like how the last time Genzo left us alone with one of her friends, we got strangled and almost killed and sexually assaulted, so you'd think he wouldn't just let us go and do that again, on just the off chance. But no. Sweat dribbles down the back of my neck and a cold chill sends goosebumps up and down my arms. The guards take me up multiple flights of stairs and my legs feel more jellified with each landing we reach. Finally, we turn... not the music stopping. We turn down a hallway lined with ornately carved doors. They open the second door on the left and beckon me inside. It's delightfully dim inside. Nothing but a fluttering candelabra on the bedside table to light the room. And quiet too. Somehow it cools the intense beating starting up in the back of my head. I head straight for the bed. It's enormous and piled high with soft white pillows, and when I shirk off my pants and slip under the sheets, it feels heavenly on my skin. Tired. So tired. My eyes close on their own. Hot. Dizzy. Tired. There's a thrum at the base of my skull. I think of Genzo chomping away at the table. Or Orlom, and that eerily cloying smile. Had Orlom always been like that? I can't seem to remember. Mousy for sure, but never so downright creepy. I don't know, he's always been kind of a weirdo, but... No, he hasn't been that creepy. I can see him. I can see all of him. Of them. Oh, flashback! I love the flashbacks, I get so excited. Even though the last one was really sad. They're sitting at the table in the cafeteria, scarfing down their trays of hamburgers, peas, and carrots. Yeah, that sounds about right. Oh my god! Little Orlov with the juice box! Guys, I could cry. This is so cute. Oh, Orlom's next to Genzo. little Gidget. Orlom's next to Genzo, slurping quietly on his milk carton. Oh, it's milk. He smiles when Genzo talks. Oh, laughs harder than anyone when Genzo makes a joke. Oh, God, I can't handle this. I'm still waiting in line for my food. I grab it and head towards the table with my friends. Hey, Eggs is here. Genzo glances up at my arrival. Oh, no. Not the, oh, God. Not the love triangle. I'm actually, like, preparing myself for a lot of heartache here. Make room, he elbows Orlom hard, and Orlom goes tumbling off the bench, milk splashing up on his shirt and face. Sit your ass down here, Hicks. I stand there a moment, looking at the vacated seat, looking at Orlom on the floor. Orlom returns the gaze helplessly. I sit down and push Orlom's tray out of the way. I don't say anything. Damn, Iggy was just a dick, huh? Like, I get it. Look, real note, everyone is a dick in high school, or just school, like, you know? Oh, God. But, like, everyone's a dick, man! Genzo wraps his arm around my shoulder with a laugh and launches straight back into the story he's been telling. On the floor, Orlom pushes himself up on his bony little knees to reach his tray, face dark. He spends the rest of the lunch in silence. You know what? Maybe we deserve to die. I'm just joking. I'm just joking, but that's so sad. My stomach gurgles. Maybe we're too hard on him all these years. Maybe. I'm not even sure why he kept hanging out with us, to be honest. No other friends, I suppose. None of us had any other friends. Yeah, they were definitely being self-centered. I mean, they're kids. Like, all kids are self-centered. Like, we're all, like, the center of our own universes. Like, I can be mad at Iggy, but I know on a real note that it's, like, part of his character arc, and also, like, it's a normal part of growing up. It just doesn't make it easy to see. It's like when you look back on your own shortcomings and then you're just like, damn, I was the worst. And that's a normal good thing, because that goes to show that you have changed or you have grown in some way. And it's just, it's just hard. It's just hard, man. And if Iggy was just around, he could, like, change their perspectives of him, or, you know, or just be honest, and they would know all these things about him. So it's like, it does kind of fall on him, but at the same token, not really, because no one's entitled to that. But then it's like, if anybody's entitled to it, it is your friend. So it's like this web of just a lot. And, like, it's part of the storytelling, and it makes me really like, oh. And I just hope that they can all come to, like, an understanding eventually, man. Oh. I let out a sigh. My face feels so hot. I hope I haven't come down with something. I wonder for a moment if Genzo is still eating, then drift off into a restless sleep. What do you want, Iggy? We don't want anything, I don't think. What do you wish for more than anything else in the whole world? I'm not sure what it is that wakes me up. My sleep hadn't been all that deep, and I can vaguely remember tossing and turning a few times, but even then my head had remained foggy and my breath slow. Now, however, my mind feels as sharp as a tack, and I can feel my heart beating at quickened pace against my ribs. I open my eyes. The room is dark. The candles must have gone out at some point, but it's quiet, motionless, nothing, and no one there that could have woken me up. I stare up at the ceiling. My forehead and cheeks are sweaty, and my legs feel restless. The strange feeling in my gut from dinner is back, not quite as pronounced, but still there, lying low, and every so often sending twinges of anxious nausea up into my stomach. I really like, as well, how the flashback gave context and, like, a nice parallel between Orlom taking, you know, center at the dinner table and all that, like how he couldn't in the cafeteria. And I get it, man. I get it. I just, like, oh. I roll over, pause a moment, then slide my feet up. Yeah, please hide if you need to. It's okay, I'll let you know when it's safe to come back out again. Pause a moment, then slide my feet off the side of the bed and sit up. I reach for my glasses and will my heart to calm. This isn't working. I'm probably just anxious. Who wouldn't be after everything that's happened? Maybe a short walk will help, get some air, cool off a bit. I trudge over towards, oh, those flashbacks are elementary school, actually, which explains the self-centeredness. Yeah, definitely, yeah. I mean, I figured that because of the milk carton, because I was like, ain't nobody in high school drinking milk. I guess we did. I don't know. It's a little hard to tell, but yeah, they were kiddos, and kids are the fucking worst. Kids are just evil incarnate, basically, because they don't understand anything. They don't have context for how rights and wrongs work in the world. You can tell when they're in high school because Genzo is blind. Oh, okay. And I did mean to put that off. He wasn't blind as a kid, so that must have happened at some point during their growing up, either through, like, a disease or some other, maybe injury or something. Don't tell me, but that's just me speculating. I still drink milk cartons even now, but I just love milk a lot. I like chocolate milk. I don't really fuck with regular milk very much. But I'm a baby, so I grimace and turn up. Well, if I was a baby, I would like milk, but you know what I'm saying. I'm just, like, immature for not liking regular milk, I think. My mouth tastes awful. Maybe I can find the kitchen and get some water while I'm at it. I yawn and head for the door. The light of the hallway blinds me for a moment as I step outside. It's equally as quiet out here as it was in the room, and once I'm able to look around, I find myself alone. No guards, no attendants. Just one long, empty hallway with door after door after door. I wonder where Genzo is. Did they put him in the room next to mine? Another yawn. I start to forward down the hallway. I'm pretty sure I can remember the way back downstairs, and by then I'm sure there'll be someone I can ask for directions or even get the water for me. The attendants... So this whole time, I was thinking that Orlom had a thing for Iggy, and I guess maybe that's, like, it's supposed to be, like, subverting expectations, but he had it for Genzo, which I would have never guessed because Genzo's so fucking mean to him, so I'm like, well, why would you have a crush on somebody like that? But, no, that makes sense. Oh, God. That's so much worse. Ah! So we're gonna die for sure. I was like, oh yeah, he's gonna get back at Genzo for sure. But no, he's just gonna do it, like, it's gonna be worse. Yeah, for Genzo, and then Genzo liked Iggy, maybe? Yeah, Iggy, Genzo definitely likes Iggy, and then also, Gidget definitely, obviously, did. So, yeah, it does. I mean, like, I just suspected it was more of just, like, him trying to be a villain in that game. I didn't know that there was, like, some actual, like, real. I'm loving the love triangles, at least in this kind of story, like, because love triangles aren't really great in a romance story, but in a toxic, bad environment, it's the perfect place. It's the perfect place for just drama to go crazy. Yeah, pentagons, all that, like. The hall opens, widening as it curls around to connect to the stairs. I trace my hand along the railing as I start down, taking it slow and easy, keeping an eye out for one of the rabbits. Gay people drama. Yeah, yeah. Queer drama hits a little different. 1 flight, 2 flight, 3 flight, 4 flight. I make it a bottom. I make it a bottom. Wow. I make it. I make it the bottom. Oh no, I read that right. Okay, it was just a kind of error. I make it the bottom with still no sign of life. Up ahead and through the archway, I see the wide expanse of the Grand Hall. I entertain the thought of calling out for someone, but ultimately decide against it. Somehow I don't want to hear what my voice would sound like in the midst of all that emptiness. Ooh, that's creepy. I start for the hall, only to freeze. Footsteps. Ooh, more than one. In fact, a whole lot of footsteps. It's just the rabbits, but they're in the opposite direction. Away from the hall and down a windowless corridor to my left. I blink in silence, chew on my bottom lip, then walk quietly, ever so quietly down the corridor. There's a fork up ahead, and when I peek around the corner, I see the tail end of a battalion of rabbits at the end of the long hall. They're moving away from me, and in a few moments more, they disappear entirely down another corridor to the left. Interesting. I've forgotten about the water entirely by this point. The sparkle of unease in my gut has gotten stronger, and now it's pulling me down the hall after them. With a final glance behind me, I follow, silently, stealthily, but quick enough that I don't potentially lose them around whatever twists and turns await. I make it to the next corridor. Next corner, pause. Then glance. Nothing. They're gone. Did they just abandon them? All of them? They just left? Furrow my brows, then check a second time. Still nothing. I pull away from the wall entirely and creep closer. There aren't any other forks or hallways to turn down, just one straight track leading to the far wall, and yet they've simply disappeared. I scratch my head. Well, that was weird. Yeah, you could say so. I step towards the wall, placing my hands against the stone, but it feels solid, at least as far as I can tell. I give it a frustrated slap. Then with a low rumble, it moves. The castle? Whoa, I step back with a start. First, it moves backwards, as though recoiling from my touch. Then with a grinding creak that rattles my jaw, it switches gears and pulls off and away to the right, leaving behind a neatly Oh, no. I'm an idiot. It's a trapdoor, or like a secret corridor entryway. Guess that explains that, I mumble out loud without realizing. The tunnel appears dark at first, but I can see light further down. Despite my misgivings, I can't stop at this point. I'm in way too deep, if you say so. Oh no. Hell no. This would be a hell no from me. So I push forward into the darkness, one hand on the wall like some kind of guardrail into the unknown. The first thing I notice is the smell. It makes my nose twitch, curl upwards. I don't even know how to describe it, like a stew that's been on the pot too long, and everything starts to congeal. The further I walk, the stronger it gets, and plugging my nose doesn't help. It's in my lungs now, coming back up through my mouth like a damp towel on my tongue. I stop for a moment. It's starting to make me dizzy, but I wipe the clammy film of sweat from my forehead and neck and keep going. Lighter, brighter, hotter. Now the smell seems practically solidified and sticking to my skin. It's heavy in the air, pregnant in the droplets of moisture suspended in the walls of heat and dripping from the walls. Lighter, brighter, hotter. My head's starting to spin, but I can see the tunnel open just up ahead. 1 step. The room beyond starts to take shape, large and filled with steam. 2 steps. Low flickering lights dance almost red across the dark stone walls. Then out of the expanse, out onto a balcony overlooking a cave of steam. The smell hits me like a punch in the gut, and I feel myself start to retch. But even the smell doesn't compare to what I see when I look over the edge and into the room below. Cauldrons. Cauldrons? Okay. Who are we sacrificing? Like, prose is immaculate. I'm like, you'll catch me just like not yapping because I'm like reading to myself. I have no idea, but they're huge and round and filled to the brim with thick red boiling sop. More and more of them, filling up the whole room, bubbling, churning, roiling, and emitting thick clouds of greasy steam that twist and coil in the air above. I only have to wonder for a split second what's in the cauldrons before I see it. An arm. Yeah, a human arm, But why? That's the real question. But why? I reel back. I can't breathe. Can't think. My body feels numb. The fuck? My gaze jumps from cauldron to cauldron and I see more. Naked backsides bobbing up and down. An errant hand or foot sticking out above the frothy soup. Long dark hair curling in the water. My knees nearly give and I have to lean hard against the railing to keep from crumpling to the floor. This is my slaughterhouse. I spin around, heart beating out of my chest. What up, Orlov? Orlov's standing at the entrance to the tunnel, his hands spread wide in a show of pride. Though some might prefer this word. A bit fancier, wouldn't you say? I step back against the railing, hands grasping at the cold stone. What are you? I can't seem to form words. My tongue feels about 10 times its normal size. I mean, I thought it was pretty obvious. I mean, it was to me. He takes a step forward, rubbing at his chin. I need to feed my people somehow, and I also need to deal with the rabble-rousers. Why not kill 2 birds with 1 stone? Literally. You can't eat people. You definitely can, and we definitely are. You certainly didn't seem to have a problem with it earlier tonight. See? I called it. Every time I think I'm insane, me and Carrot are just like, nope, that's what we're gonna do. Like, that's great. I love that. Except I don't like that because it's bad, but also, it's fun. My pupils shrink in their sockets as my blood runs cold. I think back to our meal in the ballroom, of the steaming roast, the meat pies, the bacon-wrapped asparagus. Bile rises to the back of my throat, and before I can stop it, I'm lurching forward and spilling the contents of my stomach out of the floor. I mean, how much did you eat, guys? I mean, I guess he has a whole army to feed, but, like, what happens when you just run out of people? Which is gonna happen. Orlom watches in disconcern. Once the convulsions in my stomach stop, I rise back up shakily, vomit dripping from my lips and down my chin. You're sick. I cringe and bring a hand up to my mouth. Well, you know what they say about glass houses. Orlom saunters over to the railing to look down on his house of horrors. The flickering lights cover his face, red in the steam. You know, I was gonna leave you out of this. This is a matter between me and him, after all. But well, he had to go snooping and find this place, and I'm afraid that just won't do. Kings need some of their secrets to say just that. Secret. So he's gonna kill us. He turns towards me with a playful smile. I take a step backwards, 1,000 alarm bells going off in my head. Where's Genzo? Probably just waking up, I would imagine. I twist towards the railing, eyes searching the room frantically, and then I see him, far off to the right and lying on the floor, surrounded by a circle of guards. Genzo! I screech. Orlom begins walking towards me, and I spin around in a panic. Plead with Orlom, try for the stairs. He's got an army, Iggy. You know what? I don't want to be this person, but I'm going to take a quick break, because I need to pee. And I'll think over what my answer will be for this question, because I don't know. And you know what? I'm just going to leave it. No BRB scream. I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. I didn't want the break to take too long. Okay, so what feels right to me is to not run away because he's have, I don't know, a whole army. And obviously he wants to play king, and so I feel like pleading would appeal to his ego, and then we could find another ways out of this. Mayhaps? Mayhaps. I don't want Iggy to become Stu either. I have to stop Orlom. Have to convince him against this no matter what it takes. That's the only way out of this. Rather than backing up, as he likely expects, I dart forward and grab the collar of his shirt. Oh, okay, well, it kind of cute. Lifting him up on his toes and his face practically against mine. Orlom, listen to me, please. Despite the trembling of my body, my voice is oddly steady. Orlom's eyes blink in surprise, mere centimeters from my own. I know. A swallow. Things haven't always been great between us, but this isn't the way to do things. My mind flashes to Gidget, her face, her eyes when they turned on me, warped and distorted and brimming with an irrational rage. So much rage. This place, it does things. It's done something to you, but you can fight it. Tears spring to my eyes as the sheer desperation packed into my voice. Another blink from Orlom. Then his lips curl back into a smile. No, don't smile. But what about Genzo, though? He could turn into Stu. Done something to me. Whatever do you mean? He brings his hands out to his sides. In that instant, I see his gaze go towards something behind me. But before I have the chance to even think about turning around, something clamps down in my hair and snaps my head, my neck, my entire spine backwards and away from Orlom with a shuddering crack that sends my glasses flying. I don't move. I can't move. My body has gone numb. My neck. There's something wrong with my neck. Oh god. Oh god. I'm looking too far backwards. It's tight, so tight. You just twisted our head around? I can't breathe. All I can do is stare helplessly up towards the ceiling and the face of the rabbit whose hand is still clenched around my curls. My hands slide away from Orlom, who falls back down to his heels. He gives a little shake of his head, dusts himself off, straightens his shirt. I probably should have warned you about that, he clicks his tongue. These men of mine can be very protective if anyone gets close to me. Makes them do silly things like, snaps people's necks. He taps a finger to his lips in amusement. I open my mouth to say something, but all that comes out is an awful retching noise. It's the strangest feeling. There should be pain, but I don't feel anything. Just tightness. Everything is tight, shaking, warped. Ugh. That made me really sick to my stomach. Like a vice is clamping down on my throat and slowly squeezing my head off my body. Orlom walks around to my side, taking me from the rabbit and cradling my upper half as though mid-dip on the dance floor. Ooh, don't do that. Oh, God. He drops to his knees. I simply stare at him, head crooked backwards and jaw agape. The world is starting to warp and spin. Don't worry, it'll all be over soon. He brushes my bangs out of my eyes. Then the corners of his mouth curl upwards and he bites down on his lip in glowing glee. I'll make sure you're given the finest care by our chef. Oh, well, it's so considerate. I'll laugh. He leans his head down, right next to my ear now, even as everything begins to fade. After all, I've always wanted to know how you taste. Okay, what do you mean by that? My body gives a final shudder. Then everything goes black. I'm so bad at picking choices. I'm so bad. There's only two. And somehow I always pick the worst one. But you know what? Maybe it's strategic. Maybe I'm just getting the bad one out of the way. So I can, end on a good note. Unfortunately, you were cooked. Yeah, but at least you tasted great. Yeah, that's true. I would like to restart, yes, actually. Oh, Lord. Genzo can protect himself. We're useless. I'm joking. Sorry, Iggy, but you gotta fight for your right. I can't believe stairs was the right choice. I just know that no matter what I try, it won't be any use. My fight or flight mode kicks in. I need to get away. And right now, the stairs leading down in the room seem like the only way to go. But Genzo, I dash towards them, only to see a trio of guards already at the bottom and making their way up. Fuck. I step backwards, slowly. But Orlom's standing right behind me now. It's really a shame, because I did always like you, Iggy. His smile. It's too wide, taking up his whole face. In fact, in another life, we might have even been good friends. I wonder how things would have turned out then, I do like the rabbit guards. Another group of rabbit guards moves behind him. I'm trapped on either side. My lips, my jaw, even my eyes feel like they're quivering and quaking, fluttering in time with my racing heart. But I suppose now we'll never know. Something hits me from behind and I go out like a light. Huh? What do you mean? Who? The first thing I feel when I begin to come to is something clenching itself around me tight, followed by the sensation of my legs leaving the ground. I open my eyes and find myself suspended in midair, a rope coiled snug around my arms in midsection and hold me aloft like a fish on a hook. I kick up my legs, shake my shoulders, try to swing forward. but it's futile. All I do is knock the breath out of my lungs and tire myself out. Ah, good, you've come too. Okay, so they just capture us this time? Orlum has his hands on his hips, grinning at me from ear to ear. Wouldn't want you to miss all the fun. Now to wake up, Sleeping Beauty. I glanced to my right to see Genzo in a similar predicament, loops and loops of rope coiled all the way from his chest to his pelvis and holding him aloft a few feet above the ground. Orlum steps towards him, clapping his palm across his cheeks in reverberating slaps. Rise and shine, you overgrown lush. Genzo coughs, groans. Remind me to thank John for a lovely weekend. Who? Orlum smirks. Yes, you ate very well, didn't you? Then had a nice nap like the little piggy you are. Unfortunately, it's time for all the little piggies to go to the market. Cringe. Cringe, Orlum, you cringe. That's the worst thing I could do to him. Genzo looks 10 shades of confused. He still seems out of it, watching Orlum with his jaw slack and one eyebrow cocked. He blinks, glancing down at himself. Well, this is an interesting development. Genzo! I hiss. Genzo turns his head towards me almost lazily. Oh, Iggs, you're here too! What are you doing just hanging around? He's so silly. Genzo, be serious. This isn't a fucking joke. Orlum lets out a pelt of laughter. Genzo, serious? He couldn't be serious if his life depended on it. Clearly. Except maybe when tormenting me. You always took that pretty seriously, didn't you? He jabs his finger into the underside of Genzo's chin, cocking his head upwards. Oh god, is that what this is all about, you butthurt? I picked on you when we were kids. Oh, my bad, I skipped past it. Roll his eyes, get a life. Like, true, but also. Orlum's face goes pink, red, purple. Picked on? Picked on? You ruined me, Genzo Ichihara. He clenches at his hair, and you never even realized it, did you? Damn, we're whipping out the last names? I'm in big trouble now. Genzo, be so fucking for real right now, man. Shut up, shut up, shut up! Genzo just grins. Did I hurt your little butt? Did you need me to powder it and pat it and make it all better? Maybe suck your dick while I was at it? Oh! 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 He said it. He said it. I didn't say shit. I didn't say a goddamn thing. Autobot is on my ass. No, you're getting me all the words that I want in my chat. You're doing good work. Stop it. But Genzo's on a roll now. His eyes flash. Oh, or don't tell me. This is about the time at after prom, isn't it? Holy fuck, did you really think that meant... Oh, what happened at after prom? Orlum shrieks. He grabs a spear from one... Oh, God. From one of the guards behind me and reels it back. I'm gonna muzzle that fucking mouth of yours. He swings. And the flat side of the spear clocks Genzo right across the jaw. I know, I want to know! Can we get a flashback, Iggy? Iggy probably wouldn't know, actually. I want to know! Blood flies from his mouth as a resounding crack echoes off the walls. Orlum lets the head of the spear drop to the ground, red-faced, shoulders heaving. Genzo's quiet for a moment. He looks down, spits out a tooth. Oh. Pathetic. Can't even break a guy's jaw properly. Ah! Okay, Genzo's really cool, but also... He snickers, then coughs, sending trails of blood down his chin. You were pathetic then, you're pathetic now. You want to know why I picked on you? Because you're a pathetic excuse for a human being. Got him. Everybody hated you, and you know that. Even your parents hated you. That's why your dad beat on you. That's why your mom killed herself. Oh my god. Okay. Because they had a pathetic fucking rat for a son. I called him a rat. Oh god. Me and Genzo really are the same. Orlum wails. He brings his hands to his cheeks, clutching at his face, clawing at his eyes. The wail morphs into a scream, deep... I mean, this is one way to do it, I guess. Deep and heady. Heady? Rips straight from his lungs. He reaches for the spear, reels it back, and then slams it into Genzo's chin again. Then from the opposite direction. Again. Genzo's head wrenches back and forth with each subsequent crunch. Finally, Orlum crumbles. He lets the spear fall from his hands and sink to his knees, his face in his palms. Genzo's face is a wreck. His jaw tilts awkwardly to one side, the blood welts decorates his chin and cheeks. Another cough. This time he sends about a pint of blood to the ground, along with a handful of it. Was it worth it? I feel tears well up in my eyes, blurring my vision. Genzo, what are you doing? I say weakly. Genzo turns to look at me, and goddamn if that fucker doesn't actually smile. Smile. He grins through the blood clots leaking out between his missing teeth, trying to keep him from going after you. Guys, Guys, I can't do this. I can't do it. I could be stabbed. I could be hurt. I could be killed 1,000 times. But this... I can't. I can't. Oh my god. I actually felt real tears there for a second. Oh, my face goes white, lips trembling. Yeah, me too. It's at that moment that Orlan begins to laugh. Oh god. Oh god, this is just pain. Carrot was not joking. It starts as a tiny chuckle, barely even noticeable, then grows into a manic snicker that rocks his arms and shoulders, high-pitched and squeaking, almost like a rapid chipmunk. I don't have to put up with this. What am I doing? I'm gonna kill you, and then I'm gonna eat you for tomorrow's breakfast. He pushes himself to his feet with a wobble. I mean, that won't make him like you, which is clearly what you want. Laughing so hard he has tears streaking down his cheeks. His eyes, there's something wrong with his eyes. Dark and sunken and pupils impossibly small. He brings his hands to his cheeks, unable to contain himself, a twisted grin stretched practically to his ears. Tomorrow's menu is roasted pig on a spit. He dances over towards an iron crank, and with a panicked upward twist, I realize that the ropes we're hanging on are connected to a system of overhead pulleys. Incredible sprites. I'm like, I don't comment on the art so much because I'm just so drawn in that I'm just like watching and seeing where it goes, but the animations, the music choices, the fucking sound effects, everything is just popping off. And clearly the writing, like, he twists the crank, pulls a set of levers on his handle, then wrenches it backwards. Genzo's body rises up, up, up. Orlan pulls it right, clank, clank, clank. Oh god! And now Genzo moves to the left, coming to an abrupt stop right over the center of one of the boiling cauldrons. Oh shit, fuck. Genzo winces, wriggling uncomfortably as the hot steam envelops him. Orlan, stop! Orlan, we can talk about this, come on! No, we can't, we tried. My heart is racing, I pull and tug and kick out my legs in futile panic. This little piggy went to the market! Orlan screeches with a peal of laughter. He leaps in glee and pulls back hard on the lever. Feel my heart drop as Genzo goes plunging into the cauldron. Genzo! There's a sickening splash, water spilling up over the edge and onto the floor below. Orlan wrenches the lever back almost immediately, and Genzo is yanked back out. Every inch of his exposed... Okay, so it's just really hot, and steam is rolling off his body. Orlan, he starts, his voice low and flummy and filled with a strange, deep-seated helplessness I've never heard from him before. This little piggy stayed home. Orlan jerks down on the lever again, and Genzo is sent flying back into the rolling water. Like, when he's pulled up next, his body sags in enervation. I can hear him struggling to breathe, throat gasping, chest rasping, his skin has turned a brilliant shade of red. I need to do something. Anything. He's going to die. I twist my head from side to side looking for something, looking for anything taking in our surroundings. But there's nothing, it's just cauldron after cauldron after cauldron. And beyond those, Orlan and the battalion of rabbit guards. Fuck, fuck, fuck. This little piggy had roast beef? I hear Orlan squeal, then the telltale sound of the lever followed by a giant splash. I don't even look this time. I don't have to look. I have to figure something out. That's when I see it. The cauldrons. Either because it was a rush job, or Orlan and his men had no idea what they were doing. They're actually pretty precariously structured. They're held up above their roaring fires by nothing but 4 wooden planks, one on each side without any sort of additional support. If even one of those planks were taken away, I don't have to wonder if it'll work or not. I start swinging. There's a cauldron not far to the right left, and with a little bit of momentum, I may, just may, be able to reach the closest plank. I hear Genzo get pulled out of the water. He gasps, sputters, his breathing sounds like he's being wrenched across sandpaper like nails on a chalkboard. Further, I build up momentum, swinging, swinging. Oh, this is such a good use of the direction, or like the zooming effect. This little piggy had none. Another splash. Orlan and the rabbits are focused on Genzo. They don't even notice my antics. Closer and closer. I reach out my foot on the next swing over. I touch the plank. I can reach it. I just need more power. 1 more swing. 2 more swings. I'm going pretty fast now. It might be enough. It might be enough. I hear Orlan shriek again, the piercing laughter sending my heart into overdrive. This little piggy went wee 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 all the way home. I fly forward and kick with every ounce of strength I can possibly muster. My foot connects. There's a sharp snap and the plank goes spinning, spinning away from the cauldron. Everything suddenly goes very fast after this. There's a heavy groan from the cauldron as it tips forward. The snap, 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 the additional weight breaks the other planks. The cauldron falls onto the fire with a thundering crash and rolls forward, spilling out gallons and gallons of roiling, frothing muck across the floor and towards the group. Orlum screeches and jumps backward at the encroachment. I love the sad rabbit face. His rabbit guard follows suit, leaping back in fear. What are you doing, you idiots? Orlum yelps. You're wearing armor. Go stop him. Clean that up. But sir, the rabbit in front of him clutches at his spear. Iron is a highly effective conductor of heat. Walking in on that boiling water would cook our feet like miniature kilns. Orlum clutches at his hair in disbelief. You useless lagnomorphs. I don't waste a second. I begin bouncing and kicking as hard as I possibly can, pulling and yanking and stretching the rope until one forceful jerk it snaps and I go tumbling to the floor. I land with a splat in the hot water and give out a breathy yelp. My arms and cheeks burn with it, so hot it makes my eyes water, but I can't let it stop me. I roll towards the pieces of wood, scattered from the fire and still burning and smoking, and slam my back straight into the particularly glowing remnant. Burn, 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 goddammit. I can smell the coils of rope singeing, feel the heat transferred through into my skin. I press down hard and begin wriggling, pushing out with my arms to snap the charred bits of rope the moment that became weak enough to break. It doesn't take long. With a jagged rip, the fibers of the outer rope loosen and come apart, which is enough for me to snake my arms out the bindings and frantically pull the rest off. Then I'm onto my feet, taking only a half second to ascertain the situation before running towards the next closest cauldron and kicking at the plank pointed towards Orlum and the rabbits. Yes! It goes down with a heaving quake, sending another wave of freshly boiled slop towards our captors. Orlum screams and stomps his feet. The rabbits back up even further. I topple one more cauldron, then race towards the cauldron beneath Genzo and send it spilling too. I can feel my feet burning in my soaking socks and shoes, but I pay them no mind. My adrenaline seems to be masking the pain, at least for the time being. I take advantage of this fact to kick at the remaining fire beneath where Genzo's cauldron had sat, scatter the boards and stamping out the flames. Then I reach up, jump, and grab Genzo's shoulders. I let my full weight tug down on the rope and it separates with a snap. We fall to the floor with a giant smack. My head rings, and I push through it, already up, already tugging at the rope cinched around Genzo's arms. Oh, poor Genzi. Genzo, buddy, you gotta wake up. Wake up. I yank away the ropes, slap on his cheeks. He's out cold, understandably. His skin is deep red and thick. Leather splotches decorate his neck, chin, and forehead. I feel myself sweating just like the steam spilling up and away from his body. Wake up. I can't carry you. Tears of frustration prick at my eyes. Finally lets out a cough. When he cracks open his eyelids, his eyes have gone white. Iggs, he croaks. I can barely hear him. Do me a favor? I lean closer. What is it? Another cough. Could you poke me with a toothpick? Because I think I'm done. You fucker. I pull him up to a seat. He wobbles for a moment, but ultimately seems able to hold himself up. You've got to try to walk for me, okay? It's the only way out of here, and I'm not leaving you the fuck behind. I stand up, grab his hand, and pull him up beside me. He leans heavily against me. That's it, come on. I loop an arm around his back and begin to move, sloshing through the layer of water on the floor. He manages to move his feet enough to keep up, but doesn't seem to do much else. He's got about half his weight on my shoulders. Stop him! Shit, my heart nearly leaps out of my chest. I'm gonna have to buy us more time. I start for the stairs as fast as I can, making a beeline towards each cauldron along the way. 1, 2, 3, they go down, sending more and more boiling water onto the floor. I can't feel my feet anymore. My legs are screaming, my heart pounding. We've only got a few minutes at most. I can hear Orlum screeching and yammering and batting at the rabbits with the handle of the spear, but the rabbits themselves still refuse to go into the steaming water. You fucking Maxwell! I hear as I start up the steps, but I don't have time to look to check to see if he's following yet. Up. I tug Genzo up the steps. I don't think I've ever held someone so tight in my entire life. My body screams with every step, and my ears are straining for any hint of those iron boots racing up the stairs after us. I finally tug Genzo out onto the landing. And just before we escape into the tunnel, I catch a glimpse of rabbits splashing through the water down below. I throw myself into the tunnel, willing, begging Genzo to move faster. Come on. I can feel tears of frustration building up in my eyes. The tunnel ends and we fly out into the stairway into the main hall. I'm gasping for breath at this point. I hoist Genzo back up on my shoulders when I feel him starting to slip and search for the door through sweat leaking down into my eyes. Come on, Genzo, come on, stay with me, buddy. I tug him towards the entrance, slam my hips against the door. It opens like a heavy creak, just enough for me to slip the two of us outside and out into the garden. Then I'm racing down the path, heart pounding in my ears, huffing, puffing, groaning in terrified exasperation. Past the moat, past the empty guardhouses. Oh, at least we have that boat. I can see the little town up ahead through the pink glimmer of the sun on the horizon. No good. We've got to go a different way. That'll be the first place they go. So I tugged Genzo off the path and away from the town, away from the castle, through the grass and toward the trees. My lungs are burning, my legs feel like jelly, but I push on. I have to push on. Genzo's slipping again and his feet aren't keeping up as well as before. I have to keep pulling, keep tugging. I spy a creek up ahead, quiet and tranquil, and next to it a large outcropping of boulders. I grit my teeth and power through the last stretch, not stopping until we made it out of sight behind the rocks. My knees give out the moment I stop moving, and I sink to the ground, taking Genzo with me. Fuck. I can barely breathe. I lie there a moment, eyes closed, and then check on Genzo, rolling him over and onto his back. His breath is strained and raspy, almost as though he's trying to breathe through a straw, and his eyes are just barely cracked open. Genzo. I wipe at the sweat. Is he gonna use his last wish to get them the fuck out of there? Because if you could want anything right now, it could be that. My heart is beating in my ears. Genzo coughs. Or like to reverse time or something? I don't know. His face looks so awful I can hardly bear to look. Bastard. He finally X out. Should have figured he'd find one last way to fuck me over. He pulls his lips up into his little half smile. Here I was hoping I could get a good look at you at least one last time. Oh. I bite down on my lips, staring at his clouded eyes. They're gazing vacantly up at the sky. Here, come on. I don't like this, guys. I pull up his head into my lap because I don't know what else to do. Oh, damn, this is nice. The best pillow a guy could, he coughs, ask for. I slide his hat off his head. It leaves miniature, blistered divots across his forehead. I wince and try to smooth a way down at his hair. I can't do this. The twinge of guilt in my diaphragm is back, curling and twisting and eating away at my insides. I blink and the Genzo in front of me is suddenly much younger. Even as hard as I tried to block it from my mind, the memory still feels fresh. Almost like it happened yesterday. Oh god, not a flashback! Thunder rattles the window pane next to the bed, shaking the house, shaking up through my gut, my ribs, my heart. I clench the blanket to my skin, breath fast and hot. You scared, Diggs? Is he scared of storms? Genzo's next to me. Genzo was always sleeping over at my house. We'd play video games, gorge on snacks and pizza, and stay up until past midnight just talking and talking. Oh. Even all the way up until junior high, I could always act like a kid with him. I don't respond. Instead, I just chew on the edge of the blanket, staring up at the ceiling. It's louder this time, lightning flashing across the window and lighting up the whole room. I'm also scared of storms, so I completely relate to this. I tense, unwittingly giving off a little moan. It's the big Haruhi Fujioka in both of us. Off a little moan as I try to sink deeper into the bed sheets. Don't worry, I gotcha. Just come into the safe, warm bosom of my arms. I'm not sure he knows what the word bosom actually means, but I'm not in the mood to chastise him for it. Oh... They were just when we were young. I can't do this. I'm like, whatever. I'll cry later. Play now, cry later. I let him curl around me, and in the heat of the moment, even snuggle up just a bit against his chest. I'm too scared to worry about how it looks. Another boom, but this one doesn't make my heart jump quite as much. I take a deep breath and close my eyes, willing myself to sleep. That's when I feel it, the poke against my stomach. I feel Genzo freeze up against me. He sucks in his breath. What do I do? Pretend I don't feel anything? I mean, that's one way. Pull away? But then he'd know that I know. But he already knows that I know. There's no way I wouldn't feel that. I'm starting to sweat now. I'm feeling weird, uncomfortable. I don't know how to explain it. Cold. A cold chill working its way down through my spine and out across my arms and legs. I'm shaking, and I can't stop. Genzo, I heard something out in the hallway. The hallway. Genzo's voice squeaks. Yeah, could you go check? That's smart. Sure, of course, yeah. He pulls away, sits up, and I see him take a moment to collect himself, just sitting there on the side of the bed. Finally, he stands up. I'm gonna go check for you. Thanks. I'm still shaking, but the feeling is starting to leave, the tightness in my chest loosening. Genzo's darkened form walks towards the other side of the room, and I hear the click of the door opening. He steps out into the hall. He's gone a long time. Another window, rattling thunderclap sends me back up beneath the covers. Then I hear it, a thud from outside, following a yelp, a series of sharp cracks on the stairs. Genzo? I'm out of the bed in an instant, dashing for the door, my thin pajamas fluttering. I grope for the light in the hall, and when I turn it on, I see Genzo lying at the bottom of the stairs, unmoving. Is this how he loses his fucking eyesight? Are you kidding me? You're joking. No. Each no falls in time with my footsteps racing down the stairs, but when I tumble back next to him, he's already out cold. Blood leaking out his ears, his nose dribbling from... Oh my god! He'd spent a week in the hospital after that, and then he said he'd be fine. Just fine. Perfectly fine. A month later, his sight had begun to go. Oh my god. This is just pain and suffering at this point. Oh. Whoops. We should have caught that. Tears pricked at my eyes as I looked down at Genzo now. How had everything come to this? I wiped at the snot leaking down my nose and let out a quivering breath. I need to do something, find a way to help him, but how and from where? It's not like he can walk anymore. Then do I leave him behind? Maybe I could follow the creek. Surely it could lead somewhere. Another town over, maybe. Somewhere further from Orlam and his guards. I scoot Genzo's head gently off my legs and down onto his hat to give him some cushion, then rise to my knees. I'm going to go find someone, okay? Okay. Who are we going to find? Who? I'll bring someone back who can help you. We need to get you a doctor. Okay. I'm just going to follow this creek. There's got to be some place along it, even a little village or something. Okay. I chomp down on the inside of my cheek. Genzo's just lying there, not even trying to look in my general direction. Well, what are you waiting for? Get going. He coughs. Yeah. I reach for his hand, clasping it on my own and giving it a squeeze. I'll be back. Okay. Then I take off, staggering my way alongside the creek and further into the trees. Seriously, what the fuck are we gonna find in here? Okay. I trudge further and further into the woods, following the creek, following its winding path through the trees, through the brush, over the rocks and pebbles, the slate and clay. I stumble, fall, press on, press forward, fast forward, rewind. If only I could rewind this. Rewind everything. Yeah, let's try that. Back to my apartment, safe and sound. Back to the barbecue, everyone alive and well. What is all this? Why is this happening? I can't feel my feet at this point. I can't feel much of anything at this point. Forward, forward. Follow the sound of the water. Follow it to salvation. Follow it to judgment. The trees are thicker now, darker, sun peeking in through the dappled patterns of the curtain. And the air. The air feels cold. Almost like I'm being watched. I turn around, check the path behind me, but there's nothing, no one. Just a damp chill in the back of my neck, curling like a leech beneath my collar and sending pinpricks of unease down my spine. It's completely still, save for a small object hanging from one of the trees up ahead. It sways ever so slightly, twisting on its string. I approach it carefully, senses keen, cup it in my hands. What are you? A doll? Its button eyes stare up at me, and its cotton body sits limply in my palms. I let it go and watch it swing back to its original position, hanging from its neck as though dropped from the gallows. It twirls, dances, eyes pointed skyward. There's another one up ahead, and when I move towards it, I spot another and another. Everywhere. I spin around. They're everywhere, hanging from every tree, bodies limp, eyes lifeless. Sweat forms along my hairline, tracing my temples. My heart. Something feels like it's twisting my heart. An unbearable sadness, as though I'll never be happy again. I need to get out of here. I begin walking again, faster. I'm practically jogging now. Every second I can feel that pain stabbing at my heart, the hollow emptiness expanding inside of me. I swat at branches and leaves, stumble over rocks on the ground. I feel like I'm falling through a bottomless hole, and everything around me is black. My foot hits a large stone angled upward and away from the creek. I hit the dirt, shoulders throbbing and face full of grass. But more than that, the weight is gone. The claws of sadness have receded from my heart. I blink, push myself up. It's lighter, too. I've reached some sort of clearing. And in the center of the clearing is a small cottage, smoke curling from its chimney. There's someone here? Now I push myself way up to my feet, looking around. Someone's chopping wood behind the cottage? Someone's here. Someone who might be able to help us. If it's Buxley. I start forward, limping at first, then pushing through the pain in my feet and pushing forward with as much strength as I can muster. I round the corner of the cottage, then stop. My eyes grow wide. Yeah, the woman at the chopping block stills, rise to her full height. Bux, I finally say, voice cracking. She doesn't turn around, doesn't move either. Just stands there, axe in her hands, facing the trees. Bux, it's me, it's Iggy. I take a step forward. I knew we'd find you here. I knew it all along. She turns. Her face is blank and different. She doesn't even blink. I swallow the sentence I was about to say. Look from her to the chopping block to the cottage. Bux, what are you doing here? My voice trembles. Did you open the door to Wonderland? Where's Sadie, Bux? I didn't open the door, Iggy. Bux says slowly, heavily. We all know adults like us can't open the door. Then a smile. Small at first. Then, growing into a delightful moon-shaped curve, she sacrificed the fucking baby dog. She opened the door for me. Yeah, where's she? Where is she? My throat grows tight. What do you mean? She wouldn't stop crying, Iggy. Crying and screaming and whining and screaming. Now is not the time. I do not care. I couldn't take it anymore. It was driving me crazy. I take a step back. Bucks. But my voice is barely a whisper. What did you do? I stopped her. From crying. My blood runs cold. I can't move, can't breathe. And now look at me. It's wonderful, Iggy. Listen to the silence. She throws back her arms. Nothing and no one can bother me. A pause. Then her gaze snaps back to me. At least there wasn't. Her face darkens. Why are you here? Did Hunar send you? He sent you, didn't he? Who gives a fuck? Bucks. Everywhere we go. Everywhere we go, people want to kill us. And we're gonna die. You're here to make me go back there, aren't you? To take me all of this away from me. Oh, I wasn't expecting. I would never. I'm not going back. I'll kill you before you can take me back. Yo, dope, honestly, though. The music's going really hard. Oh! Yeah. Dude, is this like the end? Are we just gonna die? And then it just resets? Cause I'm like, huh? Does it just keep resetting until we're eventually able to fucking beat this? Somehow? It's so fucked up that we came here to, like, find her and this is what we get. Like, that's crazy. Dude, I'm so mad at Bucks. If I'm mad at any character, I'm fucking mad at her. Like... Who was that? Oh, he was able to trip her? Okay, but like, yeah, we're alive, but at what cost? What are we gonna do? Like, what is left? Like, I literally, like, feel so helpless right now, which is great, but I'm also just like, ooh. Yeah, this is how I feel. Like, clearly I don't. I lie there and breathe, looking up at the sky. Everything looks so gold. Iggy. My breath catches and I cough. Hack. Tremors running through my body. Oh, is this where we make a wish? What do you want, Iggy? To get the fuck out of here. To reverse time. Get us out of here. So gold. So fucking gold. What do you wish for more than anything else in the whole world? To get us out of here. What do I don't know what I want. I do. Because lying there, looking up at that endless gold sky, I've realized something. The single thread connecting all my friends' miseries. I mean, if you blame you, I don't know. I mean, I guess you could, but like, not really. No, it's them not accepting certain parts of their own life that caused this. It's me. I let out a shuddered breath. It's so obvious. All of it. I raise my hand, raise it towards that expanse of gold. I wish... The tears have returned. They're flowing freely now, tracing cloudy rivers through the dirt and scratches on my cheeks. I wish I never existed. That's... That? Over just reversing time? Iggy, no. Oh. Remember when we were having fun? It would still be bad if you weren't there. This is really... Oh, God. This is hurting me. And this sequence is not making it any easier. Oh. Oh. Damn. I mean, we all feel like that, but like, no. You do exist. Bro, how does this progress? I'm still stuck on that. Like, I know that there are other parts to this. Like, what do you mean he just doesn't exist in the other ones? Like, huh? Dude, I'm so... No amount of moral support was enough for this. Oh my god. I'm hurting. I'm enjoying myself, but I'm hurting. Bro, is that how we're ending Act 1? You can't be serious. How the fuck does that progress? How does it progress? I don't know. Like, I want to start Act 2 right this second, just so I know what's going on. I'm losing my mind. Wow. Wow is really all I can say. That basically sums it the fuck up. I'm waiting for like a Marvel like after credit sequence. Dude, that's so sad. I'm just contemplating. Like, I don't even know what to say, man. I mean, I was really expecting him to just make that wish to reverse time. Like, I really was. Like, I was like, okay, cool. Like, it all went bad. Now we can fix it. But I guess that would be a cop-out, and it doesn't feel very Iggy either, so it's definitely in character, but it's just like, at what cost? How can it get worse from this, too, as well? Like, this is worse. It's worse, but it's good. It's so, like, it's both. It's everything. That's, oh my god, how are things gonna get fixed? How are things gonna be good? It's like, somehow, some way. I cannot leave it on that note. I might have to just play like 10 minutes of like Act 2, just so I could like... I'm awoken the next morning to the sound of Mrs. Donish rolling her trash bin down the driveway. There must be something stuck in one of the wheels, because with each rotation, the bin lurches upwards and smacks heavily against the pavement. Roll, smack, roll, smack, roll, smack. I tense, wait for the sound of something to drop, and only just question why I would do something like that when the sound of something hollow bouncing on the concrete interrupts the rolling. I hear her stop, pick whatever it is up, and then toss it back inside the bin. I lie there a moment, brows furrowed against my closed eyes, but ultimately shake it off. So we do go back. I don't think I can move on without some wholesome content. Yeah, we're not going to end it on that note, because no. But what's different? Because so far everything seems to be the same. He gets ready. Okay, so each act must restart with him back here right before he goes into fucking Wonderland. Is it a different thing that happens every time that triggers him to go? Oh god. What is going on? Help me! Help! Well, we exist. Yeah, and then everything drops. Haha, funny, so we... How does he know it's Hunar? I caught that. That's different. Weird. Okay, so he's gonna have memories of when he went into Wonderland and then not die and then change things? Uh-huh. Hey, sorry I missed your call. What's up? The sound comes through the receiver isn't what I expected. Sobs, yeah. That's the same. I pause in my carpet cleaning menstruations. Who knows what's wrong? Is it Bucks? And then he says, is it Bucks? She's gone, Iggy. I don't know where or what happened. I just woke up this morning and she was gone. There was no note. And he doesn't, like, he doesn't shrug it off this time. Iggy, she took Sadie. Both of them. They're just gone. This all feels too familiar. I shake my head trying to collect my thoughts. You're sure she didn't say anything last night? Or what about an appointment? Anything on the calendar? Maybe she forgot. There's nothing I would have known, and besides... Iggy, I'm scared. You haven't heard from her, have you? I run a hand through my hair. I haven't heard from her since last night. She seemed normal, I guess. I don't know. Nothing stood out to me. I spin around. That voice. It sounded so real. Wait. What did it say? I didn't mean to skip past it. I thought she wouldn't stop crying, Iggy. Oh my god. I've already reached out to everyone else. No one's heard from her. I hear Hunar sniff through the phone. It's been hours now. I don't know what to do. It's, Bucks. It's probably just forgot to tell something. I'm sure there's a perfect... No. Then soft as a whisper, yeah. I'll be fine, okay? Just keep trying her. Yeah. Hey, you gotta get better at this. My chest feels strangely tight, and that tingly sensation of gnawing at the base of my neck is growing, branching out like electric spiderweb on my skin. Well, instead of waiting around, is he just gonna go straight there this time? I push myself. They fall atop an empty fruit snack box with a wet thwop. Are we even in Act 2? I feel like we are, right? Like, we have to be. If Chatter, you're still there, please let me know. If not, it's okay. I'm assuming we are. The shark's decorating its front like the blood of their latest kill. Something pings in my head. I need to do something. Do something. Do what? Maybe I can change things. Change what? Okay, so is Act 1... That can't be the first time we've gone in there either, because he had weird gut feelings. So, like, has he done that before and that was just the first that we've witnessed? Because this could be just happening over and over and over again until he gets it right, basically, I guess. Is what I'm just throwing out there. I don't need confirmation on that. Thank you for the confirmation, by the way. My gaze falls to my phone. I should call someone. Okay, I'm gonna save it at this choice. Well, we're back. We exist. And we're gonna do this again with the knowledge that we have now, I guess. And hope for the best. Granted, they're gonna be fucking 5 acts, and we're on Act 2. And I'm sure and it's just called Genzo? Okay. Alright. Oh, Lord. Okay, let me get back to the main menu. Let me get back to the main menu. I need to debrief. We need some soft music. Let's turn this off for a second. Let's come back down to earth for a little bit. We just went through a lot together. It was a very heavy stream. I had a lot of fun, though. We did have fun. If nothing else, here, let me go to my end screen. For those that are still here, thank you for sticking it through with me. I can't imagine doing all that by myself. That would have been terrible. I love how it ended, but I'm also just like, this timey-wimey shit, like, is horrifying. Which is good, but it's like, God, oh. We're gonna go through so much more shit, man. We're just gonna go through so much more shit. We're gonna learn more shit, and it's gonna be worse and worse, and the night's gonna get deeper and deeper. And seeing these characters come back to life after they all just died in horrible ways, and then we got confirmation for fucking Bucks and the baby, and I'm just like, I want them to get better, but then it's harder for you to want them to get better because of all the things that you've seen, and I'm just all over the place. I am all over the fucking place. I'm losing my mind. I'm glad that we got through Act 1 in about 2 streams. That's pretty good. I don't know if we're going to be able to get through every act in 2 streams, but, I feel like that's good progress, and I am enjoying myself, but I'm also just like... I need some levity. I need some funny again. I need some confirmation that everything's gonna be okay. Dude, the way that when I finish this game, I'm gonna have to play Our Cinderella like 10 times in a row just to feel something again, just to feel happiness and things that are good. I just love these characters, and that's why it hurts so much to watch them go through all this shit, and then getting true confirmation, or at least like just a bit of confirmation about all this shit is like crazy. are def longer than Arc 1. If I recall, Arc 2 is about the same length. Okay, that makes sense. Which is fine. More time to go through this is a wild ride. Yeah. I feel like when people use that word, they're like, yeah, it's a wild ride, which, you know, like, eyeballs, all this shit, like, I don't think anything anybody could have said could have prepared me for this. Like, nothing. Zero, nada. Which is great that I can't really predict what's going on. I'm just, like, all over the place. Wow. And then I gotta play this. I gotta play this tomorrow, but yeah, I want to play it tomorrow. I want to see where things go, but I definitely want to, like, sit and chew on that because that was fucking great. That was crazy. That ending was insane. That wish was insane. That wish is the thing that's like, how is this happening? If you wished yourself out of existence, so you wished yourself out of existence in Wonderland and not the real world? Because that's fair. Fine. Does that mean that there are separate existences? How did he get this book? How do they know where Wonderland is? How did they get out of it originally to get back to the real world? I have so many damn questions. Like, I thought this would answer at least, which it has answered some, like, how did Genzo go blind? What is the relationship between Orlum and so, and like, all these different things. Like, it did, but now I'm left with, like, 1,000 more questions, and I'm losing my mind. But I had fun. Like, if nothing else, I had fun. I can say that. Had a lot of fun. I hope you guys had fun, too, despite all the gut-wrenching stuff this stream. I feel bad for the VOD watchers because they have no fucking clue what they're in for. We were having fun when they left. Yeah. Carrot? I'll never forgive you for this. I'm just joking. Carrot, if you're listening, I'm hurting. And I need confirmation that everything's gonna be okay. That's all I need. This was very intense. That was intense. I think that's the most intense visual novel experience I've had in, like, a hot minute. I can't even think of another, maybe, like, nah. Wow. Okay, so tomorrow, for the rest of the week, this is my first day streaming too back, which is crazy to start off this strong. You know what, it's very joy-core to just jump into things, like, in the deep end. No, we don't edge our way into things, we just go all the way in, you know. Throw us right into the deep end. I'm ready for tomorrow. I'm going to be playing more Our Wonderland. I'm going to try to get through like the first half of Arc 2 tomorrow, Act 2, Arc 2 tomorrow, and then Saturday we will be doing a work stream, and on Sunday we'll be playing Dragon Age, which I know what to expect and won't hurt me as much. So if you guys are down for that and joining me again, I don't blame you if you feel like you can't. Like, do not stick with these streams if it's, like, too hard for you to watch, because I'm a little sensitive to horror. At this point, I'm so in deep that it's like I can't forget what I just saw, so at this point I just have to keep going, you know? Like, we're already in too deep, so if that sounds like your thing, I will accept you. I'll be very happy that you dropped by. I'm so appreciative of everybody who dropped by today. It means a lot. A part of me was just like, oh yeah, the first 2 streams people showed up and that was cool, you know. But it was cool that you guys decided to come back for whatever reason, and I appreciate it very, very much. But it's getting late where I am now, so I'm probably gonna end it, get some food. You guys should also get some rest, but I had a great stream and had a great time, even if I'm a little emotionally damaged at the moment. But I'll be listening to this VOD while I'm at work tomorrow, reliving all this, so that's fun. But I think that's good. Because I need more time to process all my thoughts. So, good night, everybody. Have a good night. Sleep well. Watch something happy before you go to bed. Drink water. Have a good night. Carrot owns our tears now. Yes, Carrot, here. Our tears, please. It's no problem, guys. Have a good night. Bye-bye.